Fuck. What's going on? You making me some muffins over there or what? FPV. That sucks balls. Well, that's not cool. open the pub is live.
Flat Earf Pub, I'm in every time.
It's live. Yes, it is. All right. Pour a beer. All right.
No advertising needed. Just give me the name of the place, I'm in.
I'm not sure what Penny's got running there. Which TV set? Actually, that's Mrs. Kenny. Mrs. Kenny, make us some muffins, please.
Does Kenny cook muffins?
No, I do, but I'm too lazy today. I had to make her macaroni salad recipe. She got a wicked macaroni salad recipe.
Macaroni salad. So what all do you put in your macaroni salad?
Her macaroni salad or my macaroni salad? Her recipe was specific. Mine was like add a little more crap in there, but you can throw a bunch of stuff in there, you know, carrots, celeries, all kinds of different stuff. Chop it the hell up when you're slap chop.
That is what's good about a macaroni salad, I gotta say. You can't throw a bunch of shit in there. Meat.
Anything. Yeah, you can hide everything in there. Nobody will know.
Hide everything in there. That sounds like something my mom would have done with onions.
That's it. They tricked me by getting all those vegetables in there without you knowing it. So, yeah.
So how you doing, man?
Not bad. Aunt Claudette passed away when Thursday early morning, I guess, or Wednesday night. So I think she was 89 or 88, one of the two. Actually, she would have been 89, I think, in December. She almost made it.
Wow.
90. Yeah. Everybody's going down. They're all going down.
Now my roommate, he went to the hospital last night because he had bad stomach pains and he was throwing up and shit.
Oh, this is the guy that got jabbed too. All right, great. So,
well, he's got stage 3 lung cancer and they're trying to kill him at the hospital that he has to go to because
they sure shit will do that. And this is like taking your car to a shitty mechanic at this point. It's like there's literally a 9 out of 10 chance that your car's going in there and something bad's going to happen to it. That's pretty much the way I'm seeing things right now. My fucking personal solution: stay home and suffer. Fucking time will fix it.
Right.
Start praying, man. That's it. Start praying for yourself, because the only one's gonna save us. We'll see. We'll see who wins in the end. Yeah, I just got some great advice from an old person too that just said the same thing. Oh, you should go and get this and that. I'm like, no. I said, you got it all backwards. I'm going to be sitting here watching you all go, and your decision was the wrong one, and we'll see who's right in the end. So, without saying too much there, right, on the live hangout here.
Yeah, so now if you are right and they are wrong, now are you going to do that whole, kid thing where you point at them and you're like,
no. That's not the Jesus way. That's not the point. Okay. We're supposed to be praying for these people as it is, but again, it's not in my hands to fucking beat on anyone's head like a Congo drum either. I can give you my advice and whatever, and when you choose to, you choose the advice of somebody you don't know versus somebody that is in your family or you trust or your friend or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny how we're the people they supposedly trust, or we're their friend or their family, like, closest to them. But they want to listen to a guy in a suit and a tie on the TV that they never met, they'll never talk to on the phone, never emailed, never sent them a Christmas card, never came over for dinner. You know what I mean? Like, this is the type of people we're dealing with. It's impossible to talk to them. So what are you going to do? You're going to sit back and watch the show?
I was optimistic. You know, I figured my friends, hell, they're open-minded. They'll understand.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. No,
What was I so wrong on that one?
Make a full friend regime change. It's literally like a your Facebook friends list and all that. Fucking just erase that because it's fucking gone. I mean, you might as well just delete your account at this point and start again. That's pretty much where we're at. Most people are just lost. They're either all in or all out. So, you know, like you said, your friends either go all in with you and they're like, yeah, tell me more. You know what I mean? Show me your evidence. Or they're like completely batshit crazy and just indoctrinated. So
I was at that stage where I was really excited about the information I had, but I didn't really know how to express it to anybody else.
Of course.
And I'd just gotten turned down by my friends. So here I am staring at Facebook, and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, Jared, here you go. This is it. If you post something on Facebook, you can't take that shit back. That's like everybody you know. You just told your friends that just live around you. Now imagine everybody that you've ever grown up with now knowing this. But I just said, fuck it. And I posted some shit, and I got, you know, hit back by a few of my friends that were asking me if I was okay.
Yeah, of course.
Do I need to go back to rehab? You know, those kind of things.
Yeah, that's what a person says when they're fully immersed in the system and they haven't come out. So of course, how are you going to help them? Yeah, it's hard to. But again, it's totally biblical, dude. It says right there, you're going to be persecuted and hated, and just the way Jesus was. Simple as that. For the truth. The truth will make people hate you, and that's that. And they'll deliver you up. The people that claim to be all righteous are going to be the ones that deliver you up. Just like you and me. You'll phone the snitch line right now, quick as possible. That's okay. We'll see. Judge not, lest you be judged. That's what I always say. Well, I'm totally.
Yeah, well, I just always figure if God is putting me in front of other people that have all these other opinions, then it would be dumb of me to just shut down anybody that does have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because that would be like me being my own God in a way, like shutting the shit down. Like, hey, look, I'm trying to give you information, motherfucker. You better perk up your ears and open, you know?
Yeah, no, you hope they receive it. I mean, that's just it. It's how open is a person, though, is not your business again or mine. It's everybody's on their own little timeline and path. So some people are just not ready for it, you know. They're too
Yeah, I do have control now of how open I am, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm open to what anybody has to say. I don't care what your faith is or whatever else. If you got something interesting and whatever, and if you're really believing in what you believe in, then by God, it must be something, you know, important, because if it wasn't, then this other person wouldn't be telling me about it right now. That's just kind of how I figure it.
Yeah. And again, fleeting fucking fantasies and other things will eventually fade away, and like, the truth stands time, period. It stands all tests. Nothing is feared by the truth. So we'll find out soon enough. For this week.
Yeah, me and dude and New Perspective were going over all the old footage of, you know, when we were doing the Poncho Pete shit, you know, and we ran into whenever we started the Super Friends beginning intro or whatever, and none of us had seen that in forever, bro. That was so weird to watch. I'm telling you.
He played it recently there. He's got the original copy, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played it one time recently on a hangout. We were doing a private one, probably. I don't know. We've been on a lot of hangouts lately. Like I said, for the last couple of months since he's been sick, he's kind of had a lot of time to sit around there. So I've been occupying a lot of computer time with him.
Yeah, that definitely took me back, man. We had to watch it twice.
Oh, yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
Dude was like, yeah, we're watching that again.
Yeah, that's back.
Yeah,
you had to laugh at yourself back then because again, it was just a total fucking war. I mean, the YouTube war at that time.
no shit, man. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, but again, people just resist anything that's outside their norm, man. They just want to attack it, and it's funny though watching people rebel against things just because they have an opinion, like from school or from watching NASA on TV or whatever the hell. They got this totally cemented opinion. You can't even get them to look and go, hey, check it out. Flappy door, scuba diver, air bubbles, this, that, the next thing. No, 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 no. La, 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 la.
Yeah, exactly. Fingers in the ears.
It's so much. Like, no. And my other buddy's the same way. He was watching on he's got this like 999-inch fucking TV. And I told him too, I'm right to his face the other day. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? He's like, it's this. They're filming on Mars, and they're like, let me tell you something. You let me put my computer right here and plug it into that fucking TV set you got right there, and give me 2 hours. You won't believe another fucking word they tell you. I mean, this TV right here will show it off. I mean, this is like a wall-size thing. Fuck, it's like super high detailed definition, 4000K, whatever the fuck it is. I'm like, this TV is immaculate, dude. You put this in front of me and put my computer attached to this, and I'm telling you now, you will fucking see things that you will never be able to take back. You'll be like, your Mars will fly away real fast. Yeah, your fucking potato rock asteroids, your Mars, and your fucking moon with the wrong angles to the fucking everything, and you name it. Fucking, we'll go on and on and on and burn that fucking house down. Too easy, too. Much too easy now. The footage is just fucking. My hard drive is just jammed full so much you couldn't even watch all my NASA footage if you came over for a month. You know what I mean? Like. It's just too much.
Get on you to save shit whenever it come out,
Oh, I got everything. If the internet breaks tomorrow, like I said, fucking come on over because we're gonna be having a fucking MP4 party at that point.
Yeah, I told you about the story about running into those girls that were laughing, and I was on my delivery, and they said that they just went to McDonald's and talked to. They were laughing because they were a guy at McDonald's was trying to tell them that the Earth was flat.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, and it is.
Yeah.
What's the point?
For them to run to make that reaction, right? To run to the apartment, I still think about it and it makes me laugh my ass off, dude. I swear. The look on their faces and shit.
Yeah. They're thinking like it's a zombie apocalypse. Not realizing they're the zombie. That's the funniest part. Well, shit. What day is here? Friday. It sucks, man. It sucks. Everything sucks today. This.
Oh boy, it's Friday. You get the weekend off. No, I don't.
I got a bunch of little shit I gotta do here. Just little details. But I kind of want to put my car tent up there. It's my little car shelter. In case if I put it up though, it'll fucking snow. That's why I don't put it up too soon. Because something will happen.
What is that, like a superstitious thing?
It's just like Murphy's Law kind of situation, you know what I mean? Like it's just simple as that. Like it's like bringing your umbrella, right? It won't rain if you bring your umbrella. In this case, though, if I put the thing up, I guarantee something will change in the weather. Just keeps the car dry, you know what I mean? There's more rain now, and I just if you can keep your car dry, that's always a bonus.
So you use your garage for your workshop and shit. So you need to keep your car.
No garage here.
No garage.
Hardly any houses around here have a garage. They weren't designed with them, and then the odd person that has more space between the two houses. Like some houses are just set apart differently and the driveways are together, and sometimes they're separated altogether, and it depends on the style of the house, I guess. But in the odd case that you have two houses with a gap, they're a pretty good gap, and one driveway is all alone, a person can apply to put like an extension on the house, you know, because it wouldn't be like 2 feet from the fucking neighbor at that point, right? Like you're not allowed to get that close to the neighbor, basically. So, yeah, if you can have that style property, like this property I'm on now, you couldn't, because my driveway is shared with the neighbor, and I really couldn't build to the very edge of the property line, which is what you'd have to do if you wanted to put a garage on this house. Put that anywhere.
Yeah, put that anywhere. Good catch.
That was always a joke in the restaurant.
Oh yeah, dude, Groundhog Day. Oh shit.
It did happen too often. Yeah, but it was pretty rare to hear that in my place because I was particularly fond of hiring pretty high-skilled people. But yeah, when it does happen, it's funny. But yeah, just put that anywhere, like all over the fucking floor. Total yard sale in the back, you know what I mean? You're like, what the hell? It's like, it slipped on this or whatever. It's like, fuck, dude, come on. You know it's slippery in here. Yeah, anybody who's ever worked or owned a restaurant knows some funny stories.
Oh yeah, one of the very first lessons I learned was when you hire somebody and you think that you've hired a certain type of person, come to find out that they're a totally different person.
Yeah,
because they're being sneaky or whatever else. Like I learned that quick because the manager we hired to run, we had 2 restaurants. We had to trust that the franchise owners that we bought the business into, they gave us a manager out of St. Louis that was already working at a successful Off the Grill. That was the name of the place. So they were going to take her from St. Louis and make her the manager of one of our stores in Kansas City. And she was a lesbian. I think her name was Leslie.
Leslie the lesbian. Okay.
Yeah. So kind of, typical short haircut, but very pretty cool. We went out and drank and whatnot. She was cool, and she had a girlfriend and everything else like that. It was, very nice. And so she starts working there, and my dad starts to kind of get a, weird feeling going on. So he tells me, and since I'm not working at that store, I was working at the other one, he wanted me to go down and kind of stake out the store to see what Tracy was her name, to see what Tracy would do in the mornings when she would take the money to the bank. And he wanted me to see what happens when she came back. So I watch all this go down. She comes back from the bank, and literally not 20 minutes later, she's back out of the restaurant into her car and gone. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on here? Like, she's supposed to be working until like 6 o'clock, and it's not even fucking noon, and she's leaving. But she's on salary. See, she wasn't on hourly wage. So after that happened, we were like, well, we need to have a talk or whatever. We ended up firing her, but her girlfriend, her girlfriend was a driver because she hired all of her lesbian friends, which was a big mistake by my part. I don't know if you know much about, if you've ever hung around lesbians or whatever, but man, they can be fucking evil bitches.
They are. Well, again, this is a good example of how you can take the whole boardroom over. Right? You just have to get one person in the right position, and you can fucking eliminate a whole boardroom and replace them all.
Dude, I was 21 years old, right? I'm from Pratt, Kansas, a small town. I'm not, privy to all this city shit with the lesbians and all this crazy people just leaving work, getting paid a salary a week to work a certain amount of hours. 55 hours is what she was supposed to work. She ain't working no 55 fucking hours. And so we couldn't fire her girlfriend or her friends that she hired. I went ahead and I called a friend of mine who was out of the job at the time. I was like, look, man, I got a job for you if you want to come up. And he knew my parents and they trusted him. So he came up to run the place or whatever until we could find somebody else. And there was one time where he was working and those girls were driving for us. Well, they end up going to the back room or whatever. And we didn't know where the fuck, they've been. Lost track of them. Well, we finally find them in the very back corner, and one of them's sitting on the countertop, and the other one's, digging in her crotch, and they're making out and shit. And we're like, what the fuck are you doing, We had deliveries that we had to make, and they were the only drivers that we had, so I was like, what the fuck do I do here, It's a tough decision. But you got to do what you got to do, And there were many times like that where you have to fire somebody or somebody calls in sick that you're not expecting to. So then you're like, okay, now I'm about to do the work of about 5 people right now. So I better get some Red Bull in me or do something because it's going to be a long fucking night.
Dude, I fired chefs in the middle of the fucking night, man. Literally. Guy walked out the fucking front of the door with his knife bag in his hand. Fucking all the people watched him leave. Fuck. And I'm like, they're like, did the chef just quit? I'm like, no, I fired him. But don't worry, we got another guy in the kitchen. You'll be fine. Yeah, no problem. Just get him out of there, man. Don't waste your fucking time or effort at all. Just get out. That's it. Same with waiters. You suck. Sorry, buddy. You gotta go. And they're like, what do I do? I'm like, give me your fucking notepad and give me your shit and get out. You're not getting next week. And then they act like they're like all high and mighty. They're like, who's going to serve the people? I'm like, I am, dude. What do you think I used to do before I owned this place? What are you, dumb? I mean, fuck. I said, I can take care of everything in this way. Whole fucking building, man. There's not a job here I can't do. So get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get outside.
Yeah, people that would call me and tell me that you're sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? If you're that sick, you probably shouldn't even be able to call me. You should have a friend of yours calling me, telling me that you're in the hospital because you're sick. That's sick.
Yeah.
You don't call somebody and say, I'm sick. That's like second grade bullshit. When you wake up, you go in your mom's room, you say, Mom, I don't feel good, even though you feel fine.
Yeah.
Because you just don't want to go to school that day. It's the same fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I don't give a fuck if your girlfriend broke up with you. I don't give a fuck if you're hungover. I don't give a fuck if you did drugs all night. Whatsoever. You're not sick. Sick doesn't matter in the work industry, especially if you're in the restaurant business. It doesn't. Those two things just don't. Why?
Yep. You know what you do? You put the onus on them. So, first of all, when I hire you, I let you know on day one. I say, first of all, I'm a lot fucking sneakier, craftier, and all of that. So don't even bother. I said, I don't care if you fucking hired and 10 kites. You better call me and tell me you're too fucked to come to work. It's that simple. And then guess what? You better find someone to cover your shift. Okay, so now I've pretty much laid it on them. Okay, so now you're at home, got 2 things on your mind. You got, not only are you thinking I want to call in sick, you're also thinking I better find somebody to cover my shift. Okay, so that's where we got into a pooling system, like a networking system, of part-time waiters and so forth. And I'm like, as long as you have enough people that are sitting around at home here and there or just waiting to work too, someone can always call the other guy, and you don't even have to worry. I don't care who shows up. Like, in other words, you know what I mean? This shift needs to be filled, and a waiter better walk in the door. If it's Jim, Bob, or Frank, I just don't care. You know what I mean? So if Jim calls,
that was my big problem right there was scheduling. Scheduling, I had a big problem with scheduling, you know, because I could never shuffle the part-time with the full-time. And when the full-time needed certain days off, with the part-time needing these days off.
Yeah.
And it was like, but you want to be hired and but you can't work these days. But this guy, you know, I can hire him, but he can only work these certain amount of days. And it's just, there were times that it was just such a mess to me. I was just like so overwhelmed.
Yeah, but you got to streamline things. So, like, I get to the point where no problem. You could have one waiter do the whole damn place if you really needed to, with a little assistance to back them up. You know what I mean? If they didn't have to pick up any shit or to clean stuff up and so forth, if you had some backup crew, no problem. You could have just one server. You know what I mean? And get away with it.
You had it way worse than I did because you had to worry about a waiter and probably a dishwasher and all that stuff, right? Like,
yeah, but again, I just do it. I mean, a lot of times I just didn't hire people on purpose for that night or whatever, because I know it's only going to be, like, you know, say there's going to be 100 people eating there, okay? To me, that's like, so fucking what? You know what I mean? Like, I'll literally go back there, stack up 100 dishes over the evening, and I'll go back there and clean it up myself in an hour and a half and be done. So I'm not, why, would I pay somebody 8 hours, or do I just take the money and put it in my pocket, you know? I mean, to me, I don't like to have unnecessary humans standing around doing F all, basically. If you're there, you better be busy, basically.
well, and that's what was sucked about what I was doing because we were doing delivery, you know, and we'd be open till like 10:30 or whatever. And if I didn't have a driver that night and it was just me, I would have to get all the deliveries together. And sometimes I'd have to put 5 fucking deliveries in my car. And I would tell these fucking people, that's the thing. I would tell these fucking people straight up, you're not going to get any food for 2 hours. And they would still say yes.
Yeah.
I'd be amazed. Like, are you really sure you really want this? No, I'll wait. Holy fucking shit. So now I got to bring all this food in my car. I got to lock the store up because I'm the only one there. So I got to lock the store up. I can take the deliveries, and then sometimes I wouldn't get home till like midnight, you know?
Yep.
Shit was nuts.
Yeah, man, do what you gotta do. Not try it with 3 floors. That's the whole fun part.
Yeah, 3 floors. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not even close to what you had to deal with. I know what I had to deal with, so I can only imagine having to worry about waiters and servers and dishwasher. I mean, are you kidding me? Fuck, my head would have exploded for sure.
Oh, yeah. And on a rare occasion that you had the whole place packed to the gills, like up to down, I mean, that means everything's just literally going 100%. And that's I don't like running like that. Most businesses want that, right? They want the place running full time all the time. But that means exhausted people that don't work correctly and things that don't come out right and product that isn't up to spec, and you know what I mean? It just leads to issues. So I prefer a lower percentage of, you know, fill rate and make sure everything is functioning correctly, you know?
Oh, dude, there's so many times that phone was off the hook, and it was off the hook sometimes really quick that night because of how packed, you know, busy and backed up you'd be. You tell somebody that their delivery is going to be an hour. Well, if for some odd reason some shit goes down between now and then, and it's an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half, now I got to deal with this son of a bitch calling me back in the middle of me being busy as fuck trying to get other people's orders together, trying to tell me that they can't wait on hold because I missed this, or I didn't get this sour cream, or I'm 15 or 30 minutes late on my, what can I get for free? I'll just be like, so these customers, man, I would want to reach through that fucking phone so bad. Not only because of the stupidity, but because of the absolute rudeness and just disrespectfulness towards somebody that just brought you a whole fucking steak meal, for Christ's sakes. You're going to come back with attitude talking about how you didn't get your butter and fucking sour cream. Well, boo fucking who?
Yeah.
Usually I call bullshit on that, though, because I know I'm an automatic motherfucker, and I don't even have to think about what I'm putting in bags, and I know I'm putting them in there. You know what I'm saying? So somebody says they're missing a cheesecake, my fucking dinger goes up in my head, and I'm going, you ain't missing no fucking cheesecake, you fucking liar. You know, the freebies, all the people that wanted the food for free. Something for nothing. It was sickening.
Now it's all on videotape anyway. You could back up your security camera and see.
What do you mean?
Everybody's got full surveillance on everything right now. So, you know, you could easily go back to your security footage and watch the fucking employee pack the bag again and go, nope, there it is. There's the cheesecake going in the bag right there. I used to watch it downstairs from the my office. I had a couple cameras in there, but they were just inside cameras, just to let me know, like if a fucking armed robber walks through the front door, fuck, you know what I mean? I want to see what's going on down there so I can surprise them. But the employees didn't know for the longest time that the camera was there, which is the funniest thing, and it had full audio on it on the downstairs, so you'd literally be listening to the waiters or whoever talk about you down there.
Yeah.
And I mean, to me, that's just constructive criticism. You know what I mean? If I hear them say something about me that's true, especially, I'd be like, yeah, they got a point there.
You got to think of the situation too. For Christ's sakes, you're not supposed to be listening to that conversation, but by God, you're going to, because fuck, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, they were warned ahead of time that I'm watching, so I mean, not that I'm watching on the camera necessarily, but I mean, I thought, but they knew what was going on there. I mean, let's just say they weren't stupid, and they had a fucking good idea that they were, you know, watching. Like, put it this way, I could be in the office, and I could go over to the door that leads to the stairs, right? And I'd go watch this. I show my buddies, right? They'd be sitting in the office, a couple of friends of mine, and they're watching, and the girls downstairs, there are two of them standing there with their arms crossed talking for whatever reason. And I go watch this. I fucking open the door. It's a steel door, right? So it makes a fair bit of noise. I open it and let it shut again, and you should see how quick they fucking skedaddled. You know what I mean? They hear the door to the upstairs come and open, and they just skedaddle immediately, right? And start going back to work. Guys are laughing.
Like kids getting caught smoking at school.
Almost, but I mean, it's just funny though, but that they would do that, you know what I mean? Because certain employees, they knew better than that. It's like, if they're sitting around doing F all, it's because they're sitting around doing F all, and there's F all to do, and they're having a break or whatever. Now, if you're doing that all day, obviously, it's not cool, but I'm saying, I've been caught many a time, and where I've worked in a job where you could put in 8 hours of nonstop crazy work all day long, and for the 30 seconds you stood still and talked to somebody, the fucking boss walked through the door. You know what I mean? Like, that's happened how many times to you? You know what I mean? And the guy never see, and sure enough, you're getting questioned. You know.
Oh man.
You could have skipped all your breaks and lunch and everything that day, and nobody would know. You know what I mean? That's what sucks. Meanwhile, I pay attention to that stuff. You know what I mean? So when I know a guy gives me all of his work, you know, and a little extra, and then he shows up 10 minutes late that day for a shift or whatever, I don't come down and ask you why you're 10 minutes late. I don't give a flying shit. Somebody will keep your ass covered for 10 minutes until, you know, you get your shit together. But you give a little, take a little, you know.
Yeah, I reached a point in time where the being 10 minutes late to work thing, like, it just had to go if I wanted to, you know, keep a good job, you know, take it seriously.
You get free coffee and all kinds of crap when you're at work. I mean, so like my smart waiters, they showed up a half hour early for sure. And they'd read the paper, have a smoke, and stand out on the sidewalk for a while and get their shit together and, you know, brush their shirt or whatever the hell they want to do to get prepared there, and, you know, start early even, you know what I mean? Let the other guy finish his shift and go. And they want to work though, because they know, like, a table could come in and that's just more tips for them, right? They're like, if you want to leave early, you can go early. They would tell the other guy, of course. You know, that's a smart guy does that. Why are you going to stand around here doing F all when you could be making some money?
Yeah, that's where I feel real guilty is because I was, I know I was young. I know I was going through some shit at the time, trying to find the perfect woman at a bar, and you're living with 5 of your, bachelor buddies. And so I was drinking a lot. I was doing a lot of drugs. And I was living the life, man. Fuck, I had my own restaurant, 22 years old, living in a house, Kansas City, my favorite place to be. So yeah, there were times where I'd show up like 30 minutes late, sometimes an hour late, like slacking. And that's where I really regret, what happened with all that, because I know I could have put a better effort forward and I didn't for whatever reason. I can't take it back though.
Tell everybody, go work at a bar. You don't want to drink in the bar and be a drunk, though, go work there. Fuck that way instead of being there drinking.
Well, no, this wasn't a bar though. This wasn't a bar. No, we didn't sell alcohol. It was a steak and like a cheeseburger and steak place where you can get a delivery. Nobody did what we did at that time, so we kind of had a niche. And
what did you
that's
do
what we did. I mean, the way that I worked, doing the shit that I did, I still worked my ass off when I did work. I never did call in sick. I never missed a day. But I would do those days where I'd come in late and shit like that. And it would be hard for me to actually get mad at one of my employees for showing up late. You know what I mean? Because I felt guilty. So it was a whole, effect that way. And
well, that's the point. You go work at a bar and you don't have to worry about that. If you're in the bar working, you can't be in the bar drinking. Do that for 7 days a week, fuck, and then you don't have to worry about being drunk in a bar. That's make the money instead.
Well, see, when we lost the restaurant in Kansas City, I went and worked for my brother who had a bar and grill in Junction City, and I did bartend for him. But what I'd end up doing was I would have a shift. If it was a morning shift or whatever, I'd get off at like 6. I would go home, which was about 2 minutes away from the bar. I would get showered up, get dressed, go right back to the bar. I'd eat dinner there, start drinking, and go back to shifts. My paycheck.
Yeah, you're in the wrong shift, bud.
Yeah.
So the answer to that is simple. You got to move out west or something. You go skiing all day, then you go take a little nap, then you go bartend all night, and then nobody has any time for any fucking partying.
See, you make it sound so easy. Make it sound so easy.
Well, you just have to organize your time, right? I mean, I had people out there, the same thing, drunken bartenders of all kinds in fucking 2 different bars too. And the other bar guy was so fucking cool about it because he knew when he was in a bind, he was in a bind. He didn't care who was bartending and he liked me. And I would get calls from both fucking places, man. Can you cover my night off, man? You know what I mean? I'm like, fucking right, I can. I'm like, I'll be right there. I show up there to make $200, $300, no problem. I'll be right there. Coming. Fuck, that was the good old days, man. Back then, people were heavy tippers. I mean, if you targeted individual guys too, like I would always make sure you always get single people that buy single beers, because $3.50 is $5 every time. You know what I mean? That's it. It's $1.50, $1.50 everywhere.
So your big money maker, was it beer or was it on liquor?
Doesn't matter, man. At the time, it depended on the cost of the beverage a lot of the times, depending on what the person's going to give you. But if you're staff and you're serving other staff that are, waiters, bartenders, and so forth from other resorts or hotels and something, they know damn well you might just march into their place one day while they're working. So trust me, everybody tips. You know what I mean? Like the tips go around. So I would just go ding, 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 like fucking like a video game, man. Just hitting one after another. $1.50, $1.50, $1.50. I mean, literally, you're putting it in there so fast you can count it that fast. 6 hours of that, you got your $300. No problem. That was the good old days back then. Ski resorts, anything like that. You know what I mean? Go any place where there's hotel resorts and stuff where tourists go, or skiers, golfers, doesn't matter.
Yeah, unless some big time earthquake, weird, massive land shift happens here in Kansas, I don't think I'm going to be doing any skiing anytime soon. But hell, you never know.
No, but
One
there's
of the
probably
biggest.
like fucking outdoor ranch spa things and fucking other stuff and who knows what. I mean, just popular resort places where good tourists go. I mean, anything. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, wherever there's volume is good. Doesn't happen anymore now. I mean, we're talking old school here, so now there's a 6 foot apart lineup to get in. So. We're gonna need more coffee here. What do I do about this? Oh, hang on a second. Email. Right. Never mind. Oh, here. Give me the fucking link.
Man, I wish Dave High would join us.
You know who else I was just yapping at is the Scarecrow. I can't remember his real name. It's off the tip of my tongue. The Scarecrow. You remember? He's old school. D.A. Scarecrow. Scarecrow. He might not have been around. I can't remember. But we're talking Jeff Stewart days here and stuff back then. OG Flat Earth.
I'll be right back.
Go ahead. I'm going to make coffee in a minute here. Because I'm done typing this. I'm not exactly a typolist. A typerist. Oh, I don't know. Fuck. Here.
What is that? Somebody chopping some wood or something?
A little chilly in here.
What is it, like 22 degrees Celsius or some shit?
It's colder in the basement than it is fucking outside right now. That's what I can tell you for sure.
So the basement's doing its job. Good deal. That's nice.
Well, normally in the summer it gets pretty hot, and then the basement will eventually, the ground around the house will get warm, and it'll get warmer in the basement, right? But this year, I think I ran the air conditioning twice, and that was it. And we've had chemtrail days every day, and it's just been like a really steady, crappy summer. I mean, it really wasn't special. There wasn't many blue sky days. They were supposed to be, but by the time it's noon, they fucking butter the sky, and then there's nothing left. So yeah, it was kind of just mediocre. So the ground temperature is still chilly, I guess, around the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only days that really stuck out this summer were the ones that were incredibly fucking hot. I didn't want anything to deal with outside, Yeah. I remember those days.
You're in the States.
Days? Oh, fuck, I don't remember those days.
Yeah, you're a fair bit further south than me, obviously, so you'll get a more swing of a temperature, but it was a lot more constant this year up here. And now they're talking about some bull crap about it being cold this winter or whatever, which would just be fucking dandy as can be for somebody if you want to shut the whole power off or fuck with people or whatever. I mean,
they say it every single year, though. Every single year, I hear the same thing.
No, but it's part, again, you got to be ready. It's part of the predictive programming. It doesn't have a date on it. It's one of those things. It's like, there it is. You know what I mean?
It's supposed to be the worst winter ever.
Well, that's what he said, but don't forget the timeline starts in New Zealand and Australia. Hang on a second, I gotta get a coffee. sucky day. Oh.
Wouldn't be like a 2-story basement or something?
No. Got a corner on the stairs.
You got people under the stairs. What?
A corner.
So none of the houses that are around you have garages at all?
Just a few, like I said, with the exception of the ones that had the ability to add it on.
Right. So what year were all those houses built?
These are probably right close to around the same time as my dad's house, because he's only a couple kilometers away. I would have to guess it's either late 50s or somewhere around there, probably in the 50s.
Well,
definitely before I'm born, because I mean, yeah, sometime probably late 50s.
well, I was just thinking like the baby boomers, right? They were as a result of all the World War II dudes coming home and fucking their wives, correct? So
a garage is like a luxury, and a garage used to be small too, you know. Like you notice most old houses had a little garage on it, and then the 70s came along and you weren't going to get that fucking car in there no matter what you did. And that's where we're at now, where, you know, most cars now are bigger. Well, the houses that have the big garages are built in the 70s, obviously, but
well, I guess I just assumed like in the 50s, since they were making all these cookie cutter houses in the States, that they had a garage attached to them. Maybe they didn't.
Now, most people, you know, you would have an out garage, like it was an option, you know.
One of those tent garage things?
Well, again, a garage is for parking a car. I mean, most people just didn't even consider or care about it back then. It didn't matter, right?
You didn't need a garage door.
Well, the car lasted forever, too. You didn't even think about it. The only reason we started thinking about a garage being important was when the car started rusting.
Well, that and worried about, you know, those black people out there stealing cars.
But anyway, yeah, the houses are designed like a certain way here that there's more property. And, you know, you got about both sides of me, you know, there's only about 30 to 40 feet between me and the next neighbor's house, max. So, again, if the double driveways are together between the houses, you can't build an extension on your house or you would be at the property line. And you're not allowed to do that.
Do they have all the same like structure or whatever, or are they different?
It's about, you know, you get about 6 styles of houses and they're all peppered around, right? Like you probably had a fucking brochure with 6 styles to choose from or something. They're better built for bones, like the brick. They're made with brick and, you know, good 2x4s, like not those cheesy modern 2x4, the old school 2x4. So good beaming on the floor, but definitely not.
Okay.
Not up to date. Hey there.
I just need to smoke some weed before I lose my shit again.
Oh, you just told everybody on the internet you're gonna get the cops at your door in a minute.
Say, that reminds me.
It's okay. I knew you guys were live.
Go lock the front door.
I always keep my doors locked when I'm home alone. Are you kidding me? I live out in the country. Somebody could just walk right in.
Well, then you need a good Rottweiler. Yeah.
That's what I'm planning on getting. I had decided to get a dog a few weeks ago. So like by Christmas, we should have one.
They got pit bull rescues everywhere. There's pit bulls up the yin yang, and I'll tell you what.
So many pit bulls. So many.
Nicest dog I've ever had, like it or not. I don't care what people say. You get the right temperament one. Get a girl too if you can. A nice girl, she'll protect.
I'm with you on that. It doesn't matter the breed.
Yeah.
I think it just matters on who raises them, how they're handled.
Yeah.
You know, they're I know you like dogs. I know you're a dog person.
They're cat lovers too for some reason. They love cats, those dogs. I don't know what it is. They just love cats.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of pit bulls like really snuggle up with a kitty, and you know.
No, it was a big that was a big misunderstanding with cartoons right there. They always had cats and dogs going nuts over each other. It was like,
look at the name. The slang name is pit bull when it should be just American Staffordshire Terrier.
Oh yeah, pit bull does not sound very
right, because it was just designed for people that, so they say, for fighting or whatever. But again, the dog didn't design itself. So.
Let's get a poodle.
Even, I mean, I've known Dobermans that are like the most,
they're
loving, affectionate dog. They're super smart. I know that they have some physical issues that can impact their behavior, but the ones that I've met have all been like total sweetie pies.
Yeah, they get older and a little more cranky and disciplined is the thing, though. I mean, I remember a guy that was on my mom's block, and he had two of them. He was like Higgins from Magnum P.I., and he would walk around. The two dogs would fucking sit like he had them trained like to the T. You know what I mean? They were like super obedient. They could watch on TV. And then one day, my mom comes in the house and tells me, the Mr. whatever, Lupe or whatever his name was. She's like, one of his dogs turned and attacked him, and then the other dog started to attack him too, because it's like a pack mentality thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And, like bit him enough that he got rid of them. So.
Well, I've been bit by a dog, but it didn't change the way I felt about dogs. I got bit by a dog because I tried to pull something out of his mouth that he didn't want to let go of.
Right.
So
I got into the yard of the dog to get a ball out. Right, threw the ball over the yard. You go over the fence, grab the ball, and run for hell like hell. Like I barely got out of there.
I used to have a Rottweiler German Shepherd mix, and he died 2 years ago, and I haven't had a dog since, but I really would like to have another one. And so my dog it wasn't him, but I had a previous dog when I was a kid, and he was a black lab husky mix, so he was a mix. And we were in my sister's car going to the park or something, and he had like a sweet and sour tub, like from McDonald's or something, sweet and sour sauce tub. And he was like chomping it and getting sauce everywhere. So I went to go grab it out of his mouth, and he just grabbed my hand and bit down really hard. And I had to go to the hospital and get like a tetanus shot and stuff. So I was only like maybe 11, maybe younger. Yeah. But it never changed how I always loved dogs. So.
No, me too. Yeah, me too. I knew what I did was probably wrong to that dog. Shit. I jump over the fence into his territory, and I'm not expected to get attacked. I mean, come on. If I would have hated dogs because of that would have been my fault,
Well,
yeah.
Dog. If you know your dog bites people, then you just take according measures. Like the guard dog over here. There's a big giant sign on the way back behind the building, and there's another one on the fence on the way into the backyard. But still, fucking some dumb boneheads wander their ass back there looking for whoever, or their machine, or the mechanic, or whatever they're looking for, and it's clear.
Their frisbee, probably.
Yeah, and then this thing here is the guy screaming for help because the fucking dog's got his ass bit, and he's already, on top of him, basically. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck part of guard dog don't you understand? That's his job. His job is to make sure you don't come back here. People get upset for nothing.
I even saw it. So I looked, and on Craigslist they had a litter of black German Shepherds. The guy wants $1,000 a puppy, and I was like, "That's a lot of money."
No, you gotta just.
I'm just gonna probably get a shelter dog. That's most likely what's happened.
Yeah, it'll come to you somehow. Yeah, I don't believe in that. Dogs and charging $1,000 a dog, okay, but there's no shortage of dogs, so therefore it's like a weed market or anything else. You can't go in the corner trying to sell it for 20 a gram when you can go over here to Leroy and get it for $5. What are you talking about?
You got a way better story. You got a way.
In fact, I think I've read recently that there's a shortage of homes, obviously, for all these dogs and cats, and But I my last 2 dogs just kind of came to us. It wasn't like you were looking for them,
Dog, it just there it was.
That's the way.
And I like used dogs. I don't mind a used dog because that's like my buddy again. He had to move, and where he was going, they weren't gonna let him take the dog. And I'm like, I'll take the dog. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I was gonna ask you. I was worried he'd say no or whatever. I'm like, hell, you're the only person she likes. And I'm like, well, good. Send her over. I'll take care of her. Fucking A. Free dog, and I didn't have to go through all the problems of the beginning part either. I got already trained.
Yeah, dude, I didn't have to teach him how to get the frizz, teach him how to bring it back. I didn't have to teach him how to, go outside. He knew, when he had shit, he went outside. He had to piss. He did that. All that shit came with him. And I'm just like, this is the best dog I've ever got in my life. This is crazy.
Same thing West. I had a loner dog. The guy had to go to jail, and he's like, "Can you take my dog?" And I'm like, "Sure, man. I'll watch your dog." And he's like, "No, you keep her, right, or whatever." And I'm like, "You're not going to jail for murder, dude. You're gonna be out, like, whatever amount of time." I said, he's like, "Yeah, it'll probably be like 3 years or something." And I'm like, "The dog's not gonna forget you." I said, "Doesn't matter how long it is." I said, "I'll keep a hold of her, and when you come out, fucking, you never know what'll happen. And that's it. You're never back. She's not gonna be dead by then. The dog had lots of life left." So I said, "There's plenty of mileage there. So, no worries." But that was a border collie, really, really smart dog.
So what happened when he got out and he came back?
Fuck, didn't even phase it. Didn't phase the dog a bit. The dog didn't know.
The next day,
when he said, "Oh, with Mike," this dog never had a leash, a collar. Fuck all, man. Everybody in the town knows this guy and knows the dog, right?
Right.
Sweets. Everybody just knows this dog, and you can literally walk downtown in a crowded downtown, and the dog will be right hot on your heel, boy. She will not let you out of her sight. You know what? You don't have to worry about her going out astray or doing anything stupid. Just total discipline. Really good little dog. And that's it. No, he said, "Go with Mike," and she came and jumped, and that's it. And same thing when he got back. She wagged her tail, went crazy for a second, and he said, "Come on, get in the truck." And she fucking jumped in there, and away she went. She didn't even look back at me. That's it. Fucking simple.
No sentimental goodbye, no hug, no cry.
Well, that's the fear. She lived not too far. The guy would always come around, and the dog's just with him constantly everywhere he goes. So that whenever she'd see me, she'd come out anyway. But yeah, that dog was hilarious. I couple times, I tell you, she just loved the little sports car, right? So she would love to ride in the car. Sometimes she'd just sit in the damn car waiting for you to go. Anyway, one night I get out of the bar at 3 or some bullshit. And I'm not tired, and I'm thinking, like, what am I going to do? And it's the time of VCR tapes and movies, right back in the fucking, like, late 80s, 90s there.
You can rewind. I get you. Go ahead.
Like, small town. So the video store is the gas station, is the convenience store. So, and there's a guy, everybody in the town knows the guy that works the night shift, I think his name was Greg. And I remember I jumped in the car. I said, fuck it, I'm going to go get a movie, right? I'm like, sweets, let's go. Get in the car. So we get in the car, we head over there. And I get there, I'm yapping with the guy, like, "You got anything new to watch or whatever?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I got this here for you, check this out." And, okay, cool. I grab the movie and off I go, right? I hop in the car and I burn rubber home. So I fucking get there, I watch this movie, and now I'm thinking, do I go to sleep or should I take the movie back right now and then avoid having to do it later in the day? You know what I mean? Like, I might as well just go right now. So I rewind the thing, like you said, and I go, "Sweets, let's go, get in the car, we're going to take the movie back." And I'm like, Sweets. I'm like, "Where the hell is that dog?" And I'm like, and then I'm thinking the whole movie, and I don't remember seeing the dog. And now I'm backtracking in my mind. I'm like, fuck, the gas station is the last place I saw the dog. So I'm like, okay, I hop back in the car, I fucking start it up, and I burn it back, rubber back over there. And there she is, sitting on the damn porch. And but he's laughing about it. He's like, "Dude," he's like, she heard you start the car 2 blocks away because it was still nighttime, really late and quiet. She was sleeping there in front of the door waiting for you to come back, and she wouldn't come in. I couldn't get her to come in. I tried to bribe her to come in with pepperoni sticks and everything. She wouldn't come in. She sat there looking around. Every car that came, she was looking at it to see who was you. And then people tried to talk to her, and she's just looking past them, like just not even looking at them.
Like she hypnotized or something.
And I get there, as soon as I pull up, she fucking jumped in the passenger window, right? She didn't even wait for the door to open. She jumped right through the window slot because she didn't want to get left behind twice. And yeah, I was like, "How have you been sitting here all night, eh?" Yeah, the guy was laughing. He's like, "Dude, that dog's too funny, man." He's like, 100 people petted that dog tonight. He didn't even fucking.
Yeah, like there are many sideways chasing squirrels or going after trucks in my car. That was a big one right there. Like, I didn't understand. Like, my dog would sit there in the back seat of the car. A truck would come or a car would come. He all get up, right? "Oh, here it comes, here it comes." The car would pass by, and, bark at it and shit. Well, there was one time where I really wasn't paying attention. I had my window all the way down. My passenger seat was open. He was in the back seat. All of a sudden, you see him like jump from the back seat to the passenger seat in one leap, and then out the window, out into the street in another leap.
Oh boy!
They don't care, man. They see, they go.
He's like 90 pounds, right? And I weighed at the time probably maybe 175 pounds. I'm 5'10", so I'm not a strong person. But for whatever reason, there's something clicked in my body or the adrenaline rush or whatever. But I popped that door open so fast, I grabbed him by that collar and I threw him in one motion from like a diagonal motion from all the way the passenger seat to the back seat behind me and the driver. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
over my body, you know. And I don't know where I came up with that strength or whatever else, but a truck almost drilled him, man. It was close.
Yeah,
That's when I quickly learned that never ever put your whole window down in the passenger seat.
Well, you see, that's a certain dogs don't care. Rupert, she didn't care. She would ride all day, and you couldn't get her out of the car because she wants to ride in the car. And anybody that tries to distract her, she's just looking ahead out the windshield. She just like, let's drive. Meanwhile, the border wants to herd everything. If they see anything like owls or elk or anything like that, they go into like full herding mode, right? Their ears go up and they're like, oh, their little motor starts, and then you're like, oh, you want to go see those cows, and then their motor goes a little faster. They want to go fucking chasing things, man. You let them go out in the field with anything, sheep, any type of herding animal, and they naturally just herd them up. Fuck, that's what they do.
Oh, the blue healer that worked at my dad's livestock, cow livestock, they had a little blue healer, right? It was the best dog at getting the cows. And we would just open the gate, there you go, and it would do its job.
Yep.
Never had to give any treats or any of that shit, you know what I mean?
They love it. They love it, yeah. That happened a few times where somebody's like, your dog really wants to go chase those elk, and I'm like, yeah, she wants to herd them up, man. And they're like, she's gonna herd them up like a little string dog. So that's what this is. It's a border collie. That's what they do. And you're not allowed to like harass the elk out there, eh? But sure enough, it was a party. We were all drunk and whatever. And as soon as I said to her, "You want to go see those cows?" And she goes. She's gonna go. And I said, yeah, as soon as I say that, she's gonna. Like I said, if I say that word, she's gone. And
I would tell my dog all the time. I would say, "Do you wanna?" And his ears would get like he's waiting for the word. I would go take a bath, and then boom, you see the ears get.
yeah, they're smart. That's another one. The pit bull didn't mind the bath. She'd get right in the bath, no problem. But didn't care. He loved getting a bathtub.
I mean, once you got him in there, he was okay. But just to get him in there, he was very stubborn.
Yeah, I don't know. This dog knew that a warm shower was fucking nice. She knew it wasn't no fucking, torture chamber or nothing.
Yeah, he loved the water, loved going out lake. Out to that frisbee hundreds of times. He just loved diving in the water. He loved jumping off the edge and doing belly flops.
Labradors do, especially too.
Yeah, he was a half flat, half pointer. It was a perfect mix.
Yeah. Most mutts have that smartness because they share the genetics of the two dogs, and
as a pointer is already bred to what is it, fetch, right?
Yeah, that's a hunting mutt essentially. You get a working class dog, in a mix with another dog. It's a good mix sometimes,
I remember my friends' dads would take them out and go bird hunting all the time, and they would always have pointers with them.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have to teach the pointer how to teach it to them. And with Labradors, it was the opposite. It was like they had to teach them to go get the things they should show them.
Yeah. And they got certain dogs like Hawaiian runners and stuff with no teeth in the back. They hold the bird in there and don't crush it, right?
Come on in.
Oh, locked up.
Lock the door.
Oh, Kenny's at work.
Get in there.
What's up, Kenny?
It's Mr. Piano Man today, apparently. Well, that sucks.
It's locked. You can get out that way.
What's the date here? 29? 28?
29?
I did learn very quickly that having a dog was going to be a financial responsibility like nobody.
Oh yeah. That's more than a phone contract or anything else. I mean, that's the thing people don't realize. Then you need 500 put aside just for any veterinarian visit you're going to make at all, just for sure.
Right.
And I mean, at that again, people running off to the vet every 30 seconds with their fucking pet. I know somebody that does this all the time. And if you ask the vet themselves, should this dog have been brought in here for the last 10 visits? She'd say no. You should have just waited. You know what I mean? It's a dog. It's fine. Well, she's got this little cut. That's this little boo-boo. This little something. The dog is fine.
Yeah, and vets totally take advantage of that, just like doctors do here, you know, with the hospitals. You know,
Yeah.
they take advantage of the fear and everything. Well,
Yeah.
you might have an infection.
Animals heal up good. I mean, it's like horses, right? Like a horse can have horrific injuries and fucking heal up really well.
Yeah. My dog stepped on a nail, right? He had it hanging out of his foot.
Yeah.
So I drove him to the vet. I bring him in there or whatever, and they take him to the back or whatever to take the nail out. After about 15, 20 minutes or so, the vet comes out, right? And she's looking all disheveled. And she's like, "Here, do you smoke?" And I said, "Yeah, I smoke." And like, "Let's step out and have a cigarette or whatever." And I was like, "Cool." And she sits down and she's all being all dramatic and shit. And she goes, "Okay, well, it looks like he might have an infection in his foot. And so we might have to take the foot off." And I was just flabbergasted. Like, are you really serious right now? You're wanting to cut my fucking dog's foot off because he might have an infection?
Yeah, like every dog in the wild didn't have an infected foot at some point and recovered.
Like, no, thank you. I'll take my chances. Give me the bill,
Yeah.
and I'm not, never coming back here ever fucking again. You fucking bitch. You liar, and you knew that. You're trying to take advantage of me, and I caught your ass on it.
Yeah. You dunk it in the fucking...
Like I'm the buy
rocks
that
and
whole
Dog's leg off.
it's fine. They can stave off infections that would kill all of us together. You know what I mean? Like a dog can eat shit that fucking none of us can eat. I mean, the dogs are so resilient.
Yeah, they can eat some dog. My dog used to eat my cat shit.
Oh yeah, those are like little fucking. Those are like little fucking breaded treats in the fucking box. The dog's probably complaining that it's got the crunchy sand on the outside that they don't like. They go,
Fucking fuck. Yeah.
when you think about it, though, I mean, the cat's
man.
just shitting out the food that it ate, which it's not processing, which is basically the way most food is this for the pets these days. It isn't even that good for them.
Yeah.
The healthiest dogs I've ever seen or known was always somebody that's a hunter or something, and they take all the pieces of the fucking animal that you're not going to use, essentially, and, you know, it becomes, they make dog food with rice and beans and whatever crap in there, and meats and
Salmon.
all kinds
They
of
use
shit.
salmon a lot.
Chicken,
In Alaska,
salmon.
they're doing.
My other buddy, too, he had a couple, like, guard dogs for his property, a farm property, and he just fed them moose meat. They ate moose meat all the time.
Holy shit! How many moose did he kill?
Oh, a moose is huge, man. I mean, you get one a year, you've got 1,000 pounds pretty much, right? So
Yeah.
pretty close. I mean, especially when the dog's going to chew on the fucking moose's head, foot, fucking any part of it you throw in the cage, he'll eat. These were two devil hell dogs from hell, man. I mean, he warned me too one day. I remember he had to go overnight somewhere or something and told me to stay and watch the property and then do some job for him. And he's like, don't let those dogs out, obviously, because he's the only one that can tell him anything. And they both just look like black hell German shepherds, okay? And they seemed fine behind the gate, you know, just barking and crazy. But the closer you got, the meaner they got. And I remember one day he's like, go feed them, but he's like, you gotta take the two pieces of meat, like throw one in one corner and one in the other corner.
God, what are these fucking lions?
Like, oh, almost, yeah. He's like, don't try and feed it through the fence or nothing, right? Like it'll fucking bite you.
Is it Gilby you had to put on and shit?
I'm like, why am I doing this? He's like, dude, you have to throw it far in one corner and far in the other corner at the same time, so that the two dogs will go for their separate pieces. He says that if you throw it straight over the fence in two pieces, the one dog will get them both. And even if the other dog manages to get the one piece it's supposed to have, the one dog will attack the other dog till it throws it up, and so it can eat it. So it was literally like crazy.
Are you sure these were dogs?
You just don't go near. And then one night he had them out there, let them go, and they were running around the property all over the place. He's got like 10 acres or something. And we're in the garage. He's got a big industrial garage with the door open, and he's got these damn barn cats running all over the place. And this one big fat orange kitten that was more fat and curious than the other ones, he was like, getting to lurk around outside in the dark there. And my buddy is like kicking him with his foot to push him back inside to let him know, like, hey, don't go out there, stupid kitten, right? Like back inside, trying to hustle him back in the door, let him know not to go out there a few times. Anyway, sure enough, fucking dumbass wandered his ass out there, and along came the hellhounds fucking at 100 miles an hour, snatched it up, fucking, and that was it. Gone. Fuck. I was like, Shwa. I'm like, dude, what the hell? And he's like, that cat won't know what happened. He swallowed it whole. And I'm like, dude, that's just fucking crazy, man. I'm like, that's why I told you, don't let him out. It's like, you never had to get a kid again. They're just gone. So.
Oh, dude.
I'm like, you don't need two mean dogs like that mean, dude. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to have two fucking dogs that mean.
I guess for protection against other people, man, that's kind of a waste of
He owns a big scrap metal business and a lot of equipment and stuff, so all kinds of different expensive property stuff on his property.
Right.
But and it's not when you live out in the outskirts of the town like that, people will just like in the middle of the night, slide up on your property and take a dirt bucket or something, right?
Yeah.
ATV or whatever, they're worth $10 grand ATVs these days.
Which outdoor cats? The reason that they were outdoor cats is because that's what they wanted to be.
Right.
Like with dogs and shit, like I couldn't imagine just.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This guy had the best kittens if you ever wanted a cat that wasn't scared. You have cats that are scared of the vacuum and all kinds of shit. These cats, man, one day I remember he showed me he had a couple old muscle cars. He got this one old vet. He's like, help me get this thing started, and he pulls the car off, and he's talking about how he's been working on it so many years. He's got a 502 Chevy motor in there built up, and the thing's got a big blower on it. Crap, it's like a deadly hot rod from hell, right? And he's like, put some gas in this, that. We're gonna start it up and give it a little exercising. It needs to be started up.
Yeah.
This is like 10 hot rods running on a dragger course or something, right? So
Right.
in the garage, right? Just crazy with the exhaust blasting up the back. And I walk around the back of the car to look at something, and there's a big cardboard box sitting on top of the shelf, like about 3 feet off the ground on a shelf. And I happened to look in the box. There's a mother cat there with the kittens all in the box sleeping. 1,000 decibels of fucking horsepower is coming to this thing, and exhausted. I'm like, dude, if you ever want to get a cat that's just not going to be too worried about anything in life, you pick one up here. I mean, unbelievable. I was using a grinder one time, right? Like, grinding steel, it's pretty loud. You put your ear.
Smart.
Yeah, I looked down, a cat rubbing on my fucking leg, trying to get some tension. The cat's there rubbing on me. I'm like, buddy, are you serious?
Oh, man.
But they ate up a lot of mice. Those are the mice liner-uppers. They line them up. They line up like soldiers when they kill them.
We'd have dead birds on our porch, and I'd be like, man, I was like, damn, you guys are good.
Yeah, I've seen many a bird chasing cat chasing bird, but yeah.
Every morning I had to go out that porch and water and feed those cats, and I think I touched those cats maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
They just didn't want any part of it. But for whatever reason, they liked the house, and it was cold and shit. And so my mom felt bad. She got these 2 boxes, set them out on the porch, and we started feeding and watering. Next thing you know, they didn't ever go away.
Yeah, they bring you gifts. It's like his cat mouse eater. He did the same thing. Line them up, kill them, and line them up. Not birds, mice, just mice. The barn cats don't fucking kill them, line them up. They eat them. Well, fuck this. I guess I'm gonna have to put this turned up.
I always have a problem when I watch Price is Right with my mom and the wings. And Bob Barker will always say, get your pet spayed or neutered.
Yeah.
Everybody at the end of every show.
Yeah.
It's always weird. I kept wondering, why was that? And then you find out spayed and neutered means. And you're like, what the hell are they doing to these dogs?
Oh, there's just so many people that are, again, it's greed, and you ever talk to these fucking scumbag people that are like shitbag dog fucking breeder types, you know? There's good dogs there, I'm sure, but I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's about, these are this much per puppy, let's get some puppies and sell them. It has nothing to do with, you know, it's just happenstance that the dog's right in, or, you know, you wanted to have a bunch of people want puppies, so you're like, okay, we'll breed dogs, and then everybody's already looking for, you know, all puppies are already taken, basically, before they're even, before they're born. That's
right.
It's the ultimate way to play God.
It's not really play God, but at the same time, you don't want, you know, heaps and heaps of fucking stray animals running around fucking fornicating on the streets. I mean, that's for sure.
I get that, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
Well, the fact that people have gotten into this, like, dogs dress your dog up and all that. Again, a dog is cool like anything else. It's meant to either guard the house or help at your work or do whatever, or be a companion or something, but not fucking dress it up like it's a Barbie. You know? And then treat it better than most children that are still hungry, starving, whatever. That's ridiculous. Like, dogs come second. Let's be honest about that, right? We'll take care of all the dogs once all the kids are taken care of. You know what I mean? That's another issue I have right there. It's like people are so concerned about this, that. I'm like, once we figure out our own issues, we'll get the fucking dog problem, okay? But right now, we got a bigger issue.
We got fat fish to fry here.
Yeah. Doesn't mean stop what they're doing, but at the same time, it's not like we're going to focus on that. But, you know, when they find people just dump them everywhere, they let them go, whatever.
Yeah.
Even on the highway, some fucking bullshit like that.
Morning, how are we doing?
Good, man.
Where the fuck have you been, mister?
Mister. That's funny. Mister.
Go for a snack, I tell you that. Something, I don't know. Feeling peckish.
Make some muffins, bro.
Bangs and mash.
Fucking bangers. Oh.
Jam and butter on toast.
Oh, shit.
I can kind of muffin a bit and stuff.
Right, I prefer marmalade myself.
I'm trying to picture in my head what a snack is to agave. Like a snack can mean a lot of things to different
Peanut
people.
butter cookie,
Yeah,
Peanut
it's
butter
gotta be
cookie.
something pretty simple, exactly. Like oatmeal cookies, a snack.
Okay.
Peanut butter toast is a snack. Let's see, what else? Any kind of cookies are a snack, that's for sure. As long as they're not like covered in any kind of gay sprinkles or colorful shit and what. Like they gotta have like 1 or 2 maximum ingredients. You know, like oatmeal raisin. You know, that okay.
That's it.
Right.
Fucking simple, people.
It's simple. Don't be fucking mind hard.
Don't be making your fucking cookies gay, man.
Well, no,
Hey, sorry, not me. I'm just saying it's just me, but raisins and cookies is a little gay. Just saying.
they're good for you. It's like
It's good for
broccoli.
your
It's like
poo-poo. It's good helps your poo-poo.
your breast.
So that's a trade-off. It might be a little good, but it's good for you. Oh, okay, so you're good then.
And the key to this too is I ask people all the time. I say, take everything you'd eat in a day over the whole day, you know, and throw it in a bucket and stir up with a canoe paddle, and you think that would be appetizing. You know what I mean? Do those go together? That's something you should consider for your daily routine. Like they've conditioned us to just like, you know, here you are, you got bacon and eggs and what have you, and an orange juice, and then 5 minutes later you're having a Hershey bar or something, and then at lunchtime you're gonna fucking hot spicy burrito going down there, fucking some other nonsense, and you know what I mean? Like just mixing up.
Don't forget about the aspartame.
Exactly. Again, all these products cross-referencing each other in there. You almost need a manual. They're like, can you put this without an explosion? You know, certain chemicals. You know, we're creating our own problems. You know, a lot of the times. I keep it real simple now for eating. everything's poison now, fucking graphene and everything apparently. you gotta run a magnet or everything now.
That's no shit right there.
You see the video comes out today, that big chew one. About like with vaccines, we're gonna like control your kind of thing, like.
Well, yeah,
we discussed that, like, more like confirmation, like how we're gonna do it and stuff. So it's like they're kind of saying that with this, they're either gonna be able to control people, they're gonna be able to control the military will turn against the public or not.
Oh hell yeah! There's 5 versions of that. I've got 5 different presenters, 5 different narrators with 5 different, at least minimum documentaries on that are really excellent. Not doing all the little small videos of people presenting, but the 5 people that I think have managed to nail it down real well there and actually put a proper little video presentation together, and they all tend to cross-reference each other pretty decently with some of the similar speakers and presenters and, you know, microbiologists, biologists, whatever, people that are specialized in these fields. Anyway, that's a nailed down subject right now. You get on BitChute there to just type in the 5, G and then the old CB. Type that together in there. Like, if the star's red, I got it. That's it. I open everything to make sure it's already in my bookmarks. And some stuff goes bookmark, and then other stuff I have a separate section for things that I actually download. Like, I don't download everything. I watch everything, I don't download everything. If I like it, if it's a good presentation, I'll save it.
I see with that video, it shows that the entire remainder of the human race is going to be completely AI. Like, there won't be a human race anymore. It's like we're using the flesh bodies, but it's like we're not our own choices anymore and all that stuff.
That's exactly what the Bible says, Lev. Isn't that incredible?
We're all walking around like barbells with no noodles.
Eunuchs, they were called. This is literally, again, about just, again, you have a recipe for a fucking meal, and this is the way it's made, like Mama's special spaghetti sauce or whatever, right? This is the recipe. It gets like this since 1901, and that's how we do it, right? You don't come along and fuck with Mama's recipe, period. End story. That's all. You want to make your own spaghetti sauce, go ahead. Go do something somewhere else. But it won't be here. And that's what's going on.
What is mother's dinner?
We're the DNA that you can't fuck with, man. It's that simple.
That's the DNA.
You can cross it with something else, but it ain't human at that point. And again, it's not of God. It's not of God. It's not of God. It's of the God of this world. We'll just use the term loosely, God there. Small G, big G. Simple as that. And that's another problem people have while they're prospering on this fucking earth, not reading what they're going to be reading. What tells you who runs this fucking place, dude? What, are you stupid? And if things are going good for you, then guess what? You're probably fucking doing it wrong.
Like that Satan rule in that kind of sense and stuff. It's like there's been a period of time where like 90s weren't because there's so much control of them and all kind of stuff. Like it's like that's a kind of a nightmare. But
you choose to be ruled over by evil men, and you'll have evil men ruling over you, right? That's pretty much it. People choose it.
We were losing as liberalism. Whereas in the past, we had, you know what I mean, we sacrificed as freedom for security with like 9/11 and
right.
and COVID and all kind of stuff. Like, but before that, we'd not done that. So it's
no,
like
I would say the same thing. Even you can think about a castle and soldiers in a small town, and it's protected by king soldiers from attack and so forth. Of course, you had to pay dues, otherwise you weren't going to be protected. And the story's always been there. It's just a little bit of narrative change here and there. But in general, people always want someone to tell them what to do, and fucking instead of dealing directly with God Himself. You don't have to deal with anyone else. You can talk directly to head office. You don't have to deal with the middleman. There is no middleman. That's the problem. Organized religion is a middleman, and it never needs to be there in the first place.
Yeah. You
have direct access, man. Straight up to head office. It's a memo. You don't need to apply to HR or anything. You know what I mean? You don't need that.
Nothing from my childhood was, why does this priest, you go to this booth, right? And he shows the priest your problems. And then he's all of a sudden supposed to be like, okay, you're good. Like, that bothered the shit out of me.
Yeah,
like,
back it up with
fucking
scripture. Right, show me something in the Bible that backs that up. Nothing, zero. So there you go, exactly.
This was before I was writing that. I just went to church with my friend. one time I spent the night at his house, and now I'm like witnessing all this shit going down, and I'm just whoa.
Right, go ask the same guy, what do you here? What's the purpose of this building? And, you know, what are your beliefs and so on? And they'll tell you, we follow this book, the Bible, and you'll say, no, you don't. It's that simple. If you followed this, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. Fucking quite
and then I would have a problem with the whole Old Testament, New Testament. Like I was always thinking, well, if the Old Testament's so great, then why would they even have to make a new one? And how new is it really? Like, are we talking like new? Like, is this like a year ago, or are we talking like what's new?
Bad conception again. You know, that's like saying you have old Cheerios and new Cheerios. That's completely wrong. It's not the same thing whatsoever, nor the same writings, nor the same anything. I mean, old and new, nothing. It's like that's old and this is new text. That's all. It's not the same text.
This is Old Testament.
Yeah.
Is that like what that's classed as like Gnosticism?
Well, you know, Jesus brings the New Testament is our version, if you will, of the latest events. But then for those who study and want to go deeper and want to actually have the truth revealed to them, you can have everything revealed to you. Back right to the Old Testament. That makes no sense, obviously, because there's a bunch of stuff missing. And like anything else, once there's a bunch of stuff missing, you're like, hang on, there's somebody ripped a chapter out of this fucking book. What happened between here, the bank robbery, and the getaway? We're missing a part.
Is Gnostic an appropriate label for what you'd self, or is that?
Well, Gnostic is knowledgeable, and you're chasing knowledge, right? But that's for each individual to seek out. I mean, you have to have your own experiences, and I guess God takes you up when you're ready. I don't know. Not everybody's ready. I mean, we prove that every day when we talk to people and say, you know, whatever we talk about, whatever subject matter, people are like, oh, that's just freaking conspiracy theories, and that person's not ready for a wake-up call yet. That's all. They might even be just lost and never found. Who knows? Not up to us to decide.
Lord, who knows? Maybe it's a defense mechanism in a lot of people's brains that will not allow them to take in certain information because it will just make them insane.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's a biblical thing again. Certain people are just blinded to the truth, period. And maybe it's something to do with them. I mean, you don't know what's in a person's heart and what they're thinking and so forth. I mean, it could be anything. Yeah, Christianity could be cursed. You don't know what happened before you, too. When you free yourself, apparently everybody can be saved. So,
will you break the cycle? Those are the people that I really admire, are the ones that are, you know, and become flat earthers and like, wait a second, they decide to actually change their shit. Like, that's really impressive to me because that was really hard if I was in that situation. I gotta admit.
I don't believe it's personal choice, though. I think these things happen for a reason, Jared. It's not like what I mean. You just went there seeking to be unpopular and have everybody fucking hate you and so forth. Obviously, it's the doings for a reason. You know, it's a necessary evil almost. Right? If you to find the truth, you got to go through a whole minefield of dog shit.
Yeah, I surely did that.
Right, but that's part of the refined metal. Same thing. You throw metal in the fire and refine it time after time until it's fucking pure again, right? I mean, it has to happen.
We were talking about it yesterday about like with movies and how that's kind of like putting people on a spell kind of thing. So that's like preventing them from, like, because it's like, you know, like movies which like tell you about the shape of the earth and all that kind of stuff, ridiculous anything to do with Earth. So when you are presented with it, like someone mentioned it, they just think you're insane because like, you know, I mean, you've seen that movie years ago, and that's it. It's affected your ego, and you have to live with the globe for so long that, you know, so many things that, you know, it's just so much easier to continue with this narrative rather than turn everything upside down, all that kind of stuff. Like, if you think about narratives, that all on that narrative is that government's good and you trust them. Which is wrong.
It's always comedy, eh? Like you said, they throw it out predictably ahead of time so that, like I said, you're preconditioned for a response for a question that hasn't even been asked yet. And there you are listening to some comedian joke about flat Earth. And of course, that seems ridiculous at the time until someone actually comes up to you and tells you right straight to your face that this is what they think because of this evidence. And then, of course, you revert back to that comedy routine that you heard 10 years ago or whatever and left your ass off about it. Again, like you said, it's just being preconditioned into people ahead of time. That's how intelligent the enemy is, though, that we're dealing with. This isn't no fucking willy-nilly checkers game where you're just taking the next move right quick, you know? No. This is a long, thought-out fucking way down the road chess game. Pre-planned everything. We know your outcome. We know your possible reaction to everything. We got everything ready for response here. Yeah, you know, why is gravity? Cue up Neil deGrasse. Quick, somebody cue up Neil deGrasse. Where's the gravity? You know what I mean? They got an answer for everything. They just did push this button. Here you go. You want an answer to gravity?
You know, I absolutely would love to think that Neil deGrasse Tyson is just like a whipping boy bitch, like in Pulp Fiction, you know, the Gimp.
Sure
like
he is.
Every time that they get him off camera, he goes into a cage. I hope they put a ball gag in his mouth.
Yeah, but he does it voluntarily if he does because he likes it, okay? That's the whole point. We're talking about some sick fucker. He probably does that to children instead, though. He's a real sick fuck. I mean, anybody that's that sick against their fellow humans, so to speak, unless he's some fucking other thing. The point is, you and I don't think like that. No good person on this earth thinks like that. So there's definitely the wheat and the tares here. Like or not, we're going to get separated at some point. So goes in the sheep.
But he's black and he has a mustache.
Don't matter. Yeah, don't matter.
And he drops mics on stages.
Yeah.
And he says bitch.
It's like dog breeds at this point, right? Again, the people have fucking mixed up each other so much. There's no way to look at a person at all and tell what they're about. You can't.
How can you not listen to him if he's on Joe Rogan? I heard him on Joe Rogan. He must be telling the truth.
Don't you love how Joe Rogan's actually been leaking out a bunch of crap? Like, it's almost controlled information like Alex Jones. They literally have to get that middle road, keep you attracted to the platform, and also let you have a little tidbit of something good. And even my own buddies, so I kept telling them for the longest time, stop watching that fucking clown. He doesn't know shit. And then, of course, now they're like, see, he's talking about the stuff you're talking about. And, you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, then maybe pay attention to him then, I guess, and maybe it'll lead you somewhere. But, yeah, don't take everything he says in stone. But he's definitely leaking shit out like anybody else. But, of course, they want you to think it's crazy. Yeah.
He's down control, usually for their side.
That
First time about after us, like.
Yeah, yeah. I call it controlled information release. You know what I mean? There's always controlled opposition. I'll agree to that. But there's certain platforms, it's like they're literally meant to give you that pig blanket. You know what I mean? You got the good part in the middle wrapped in a whole bunch of fucking useless dough. You know? Pardon me. Maybe we're gonna have to make some muffins here. I don't know. Workbench muffins, anyone? Should we get some Agave's workbench muffins?
Dude, let me get some cookies.
Don't get this in here.
You don't cookies?
Nope. No, I had the muffin mix there. I was just too lazy to mix it. I was unmotivated.
Why don't you bust out those action dance so they can motivate you? Oh, fast.
I think I threw those away, believe it or not.
What?
Yeah, I had to clean out a lot of stuff and get rid of stuff. Either that or I turned me into a rag. One of the two. These assholes don't even bother to reply, so fuck you. Especially if you ever sell stuff online or whatever, you always get a bunch of dingleberry messages from dingleberries, you know what I mean? They're just most ridiculous nonsense. It's like, are you serious?
Well, it's an ADHD world now, so they're like throwing it up there. Hey, you got this? And if you don't, they're going right to the next guy. You got this? You got this?
Well, it's worse than that. No, it's like kind of an ad for a blue fucking Corvette for sale, and they're emailing you, ask, what color is it? When the picture shows 29 pictures of a blue Corvette and the description says deep midnight blue paint or whatever, and paint code and everything, and no, they're like, is it blue?
Probably cost extra money to even put that description in there.
It's just like fucked up. You know what I mean? It's like, does it have 4 wheels? It's like, oh, fuck me, man. You know what a car is. You know what?
Is it the blue or red?
Is that a Camaro?
Does that have doors?
Does it have extra doors? We're dealing with, like I said, it's to the point now where you could, again, you can sit with all the pictures in the description, the whole wide world, somebody started to email you with a dumbass question. And yeah, that's clearly in the description, my friend. And they're like, oh, you know.
Oh, my bad.
You reading words. Readings for guys.
Customers, people, I swear to God.
Why can't you just tell me? Why can't you tell me what I want to know?
Hey, do you guys deliver? Yeah, we do free delivery. Okay, how's your delivery charge?
Yeah. Don't laugh. There was a fucking. Did you see this video? Okay, look, a good little video there. You gotta find this one. It's I don't know the title is exactly, but basically it's this. The guy is asking the convenience store guy. He's got one of these all-in-one convenience stores. He's looking for a scale. You know those scales to weigh dope on, right? Like little scales. Okay. So he got scales, and the guy's like, he's like, I got two. I got $10 scale, and I got a $15. All right. He goes, let me see the $10 scale. So he shows him the $10, and the guy takes a look at it. Back down. He's like, so how much is the $15 scale? he no joke, dude. And the guy behind the counter is like, yeah, I got the other one here, $50. You know what I mean? He's pulling it out or whatever. He goes, the guy right away is rude with him. He's like, no, how much is the $15 scale? And the guy's like, are you serious? And he's like, what? Are you stupid? Listen to me. How much is the $15 scale? He's slapping on the counter, you know, like a fucking nut. Like it's literally thinking it's a joke on the counter. He's almost thinking it's a joke. He's like, you know, like, are you serious?
Right.
And they get angry with him. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, man. No. End now. Fuck. Send the asteroid.
Studio wins.
How much is a one-time?
This is a one. It was great. It was a great moment in the movie Clerks. She comes in the video store and she looks at and she goes, where are all your releases? And there's a big ass sign right behind her.
The big arrow, another sign over there with a big arrow pointing over here.
Right here.
Flashing fucking neon.
Yeah.
Free corn and drinks fucking over here beside the new releases.
That's hilarious.
It happens all the time. I mean, how many times you somewhere in the store every day? Where are the such and such? And the guy points right behind you, and you're like, oh, boy, I'm an idiot.
Especially when you're in a hurry, it happens all the time.
Right.
So I'm blind as the fuck, I guess. All right.
You need working on that.
An $80,000 Steinway.
No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure at all, baby.
Go to lunch, and when you come back, it'll just be done, and you'll be like, where's the Steinway?
I don't know.
Anybody seen Steinway?
Yeah, I went to lunch and back in the drop.
It's not in this room. Yeah, they might not miss it.
Slip that in your hatch there, just up in the back.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
I don't know if it'd be very nice to have somebody else's $8,000 with a piano.
You could have 8,000 piano players come over to your house instead.
Yeah, 8,000, I mean.
We're having another safety meeting for this space and start with that 2 o'clock. They over. Shut up.
It's over?
It is over.
Dang, I just get started.
Clock. I'm done.
I gotta just clock in.
I do put up the cartoon, but fuck. I have to be motivated.
Not motivated, man?
No, there's too many dead people this week. It's not cool.
It's a pretty bad week, for sure. Who else died?
Aunt Claudette.
What? Your auntie?
Yeah.
Yeah, like our roommate in the
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, fucking bullshit.
And I'm just waiting for the rest of them to go down. And of course, you know, who came over telling me of the you know what again, fucking Mr. Make Me Mad guy. He's like, you know what Trent would have said? She would have said, go get the. I'm like, no, she wouldn't. She's not retarded. That kind of triggers for me I've been thinking for the longest time, when that happens, it's going to be for a reason. In other words, like, you know what I mean? Like, certain people won't be here when it's the fan, like, for a reason, you know? Because you wouldn't want certain people to be suffering in a time when power goes out or whatever the hell, you know what I mean? And to have old people suffering for no good reason, people that are on their way, and they keep, like, she's a great example of a person that just doesn't give a shit about the system or the money or anything else. You know what I mean? She would have done it for you, invite you in, and make you some fucking spumoni ice cream or whatever the hell. But
Right. Some spumoni.
if you want spumoni ice cream,
Have some porridge.
no, she's to me, she's always been the fun end, first of all, but also just the key stuff. Like, for example, like you said, she'd have like a tray of stuff when you come over. She'd be like, "Hi, let's see whatever." She'd prepare stuff. So she'd here, I made some snacks for you. And it'd be like a Ritz cracker with a sardine head and a pickle and something to it. And like, oh, okay. And just weird things. You want some ice cream? And you're thinking chocolate, whatever, right? You have this bowl and you're like, okay, what's this funny looking green with fucking nuts and cherries and fucking string and I don't know what the hell.
Pizza.
It's spumoni. And like, spumoni? Oh,
Why did you prepare all this shit?
is this on sale or something? I never seen this.
The problem I have that it's not they're nice and those are all great things. But I always was bothered with when I go to my friend's house and they would have a mom that was like that or whatever. They would make some type of crazy thing.
Yeah.
I didn't eat. Right? Like, I was a picky eater when I was a kid. If it wasn't meat or potatoes, I wasn't gonna have it. If it was green or red, weird odd cup or wheat cake. If she always smiled with fanciest bullshit, and I always have to say no, thank you, and you always just look like all this shit, and you're not even gonna try it. Like,
Yeah, that's why you pick your friends better. You know whose house to go to after. Yeah, we had one friend. He had a maid. So the parents were around. You'd show up after school. The maid was there. Fucking, she was like, little nanny lady. And she'd be like, "Okay, what do you kids want to snack on?" She'd make things with a happy face or whatever on the fucking day. Here you go. Like, this is the place to be.
I think I can hang out with you fellas for a while.
Yeah, I think I can hear you a while.
now, I must admit, one of my friends had a computer and a game I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Atari guy especially. Whoever had the Atari when it was raining and
You're super nice, that person, that's for sure.
And then his older brother. I'll admit that guy was. We had older brother, this mean older brother, and his mean older brother had this mean friend named Steve. And these two guys would come stomping into the front gate while we were playing cards.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that older brothers, little brothers, but brother be coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to always have fun with that.
Kids trampoline was always a good one to go to.
And of course,
the pool. That was me. I was lucky enough to be that guy.
I was a half-height guy, so you know what I mean. It was like I had the bouncer at the clipboard. You know what I mean? Like, now you're on the list. You're sorry, you're not part of the club. Can we just come over and watch? I don't know. We're be cool. We don't like people who aren't cool. Like, if you can make it to the bottom of this hill on your skateboard, let you come over. Guy'd scrape his face all the way down the street. Be like, well, I guess we weren't ready.
We don't know if it was because of the Chuck Norris movie we were watching, or the Rambo movies that come out, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, but something with fire under all my fourth grade friends' ass about like fake guns and BB guns and going out and like shooting each other with them and defending a certain block, and you have to go into this block to win, touch this person.
Yeah.
Those
when we did it. It's that simple. Like you said, you saw something and we just went next day. Like if you were watching a downhill ski from Warren Miller, you watch that and go downhill again. Karate movie or whatever, you went out in the yard and kicked the crap out of each other while karate style, because you're excited about what you just watched. Fast and Furious, and who didn't leave the cinema and fucking go burn her home?
That's right.
I mean, it's just everything, stuff and everything. Like you said, the BB gun back then, you were shooting each other with it all the time. Now it's a fucking total crime.
The BB guns that shot at each other, like we wore goggles shit, we didn't like punch his eye at her and stuff. You get hit with the fucking ball gun. Holy shit, you're worse than a BB.
Yeah, now it is. Yeah. We're freaking dangerous, period. We're still here. So, but that's how you learn skills in life, right? That's why people are so damn useless. And they can't balance. They have no balance. They have no fucking skills. They can't do anything. They can't swing a hammer, hit a nail head. They can't fucking a bicycle. Probably they can't do anything. Right. You gotta do all those things and daredevil and reach the edge of everything you do. Basically, you gotta find the limit.
There are certain times where I think to myself, what the fuck would I jump off a railroad bridge into this tree? I have no clue. I haven't tested this thing at all. I'm just
Bad idea.
risk it.
Bad idea.
I'll definitely.
Yeah, it happens. It either works or doesn't. And if it doesn't, then the rest of the kids learn nothing to do. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's a survival of the fittest. I mean, like anything else in this world, you can't save everybody. You're stupid. So that's really. I mean, and when you really think about it, you know, you hang around with what you do and your skill level and your diversity. You know, that's why you don't stick yourself just in one corner. Try to be broad about what you do. Like I can have nails and I can do nothing. You know?
Bike cop.
I'll do just about anything, you know. Nothing's proud or whatever you want. If I can do laundry or cook or fix it,
Right. Doesn't matter.
Did you play all sports?
Oh, not really. I mean, I think independent shit mostly. Because again, I don't like to rely on other fucking people for whatever reason. You know, a game that made no sense to begin with from the first. I prefer something that you're testing yourself. You know, it's either racing, it's bikes, or skateboard, or whatever. Independent.
Golf.
You test yourself, and then you can test yourself against others. But you're really testing your own limits, really.
See, I was opposite. I always was attracted to having that teammates. You know, I always loved depending on other people. Like I do that about sports.
That applies in the workforce field. But again, if I'm out on I'd rather have a bunch of independent workers. You know what I mean? You're not, like you said, it's not a team sport. You're all independents doing the same thing, but you're all independents at that point. You know, you'll have different skill levels of different people, and there's no, you know, you're good or not good, or you know, enough or not good enough. Like anything, a club or whatever, you get a remote control car club or something. It doesn't matter. You know. The two problems that I have is competition, how serious it gets. Like I have to remind the kids on the street, we're playing street hockey, arguing and whatever, and I'm like, what the hell? Why are you arguing? And street hockey's fun, we boneheads. Like, well, but he did it and scored, and then it's the score's good and the score and the score. I'm like, guess what? There's the score in street hockey. Didn't you know that? I said, you guys don't get it. I said, okay, TV hockey is different than street hockey. Street hockey score almost to 1, and then it goes back to 0 again, and it starts again game, and then back to 1 again, and back to 0, and that's it. You want to keep track of it, but it's fun. They're so concerned about the competition factor, right? It's like, it doesn't matter, man.
Now, I guess the problem that comes up with everybody that just goes through high school is when you have a team sport, I guess, like you have tryouts, right? Where people come and come out to be on the team.
Exactly.
Then you have those people that don't make it.
Right. That's damaging.
It would have to be. You would have to think that would be something that it's like being picked last. Whenever you have the two people, I'll take him, and then say I'll take him. It's like being the last guy picking that shit. But it's worse because you don't even get picked.
And then how many times has the person who didn't get picked just happened to have that day, whatever, but he turns out to be fucking Wayne Gretzky later because you should have picked him and you're a retard. It's like hiring waiters or anything. People used to say they come with this resume with all kinds of bullshit on it. You don't care if fucking worked at the 5-star fucking penthouse pie in the sky. It doesn't matter to me. I need to performance, and I need to see, some serious fucking care and concern for the customers. Now, of course, I prefer to have somebody come in and never wait tables in my life before. I'm like, do you want to wait tables and serve people? They're like, yeah, I do that kind of stuff. And I'm like, perfect, you're hired. That's it. You start tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you what to do. That way they do everything I do the way I do it. There's no more fucking around. Not the way we used to do it in the last place I worked. It's like, go back and work there if you want.
That was my problem with the last place I worked was I would get told what to do, and then the next person would say, hey, did you do this? I said, because someone told me to do it. Well, don't listen to what they say.
Horrible.
And then
the way you want me to just disregard anything they ask me to do without even any explanation. Like, I'm just supposed to say, like, without even telling them that you told me not to do it. You don't even have common courtesy to say, hey, no, by the way, don't tell her that I told you.
Yeah, no, that's just tomfoolery happening.
Yeah, it's behind the back bullshit.
That's it.
Okay. Phew, all right. Okay. Whew.
So you have kind of the middle clock that says I'm starting on this job right now, and then whenever you enter your job, and just clock yourself out in your head, or do you go ahead and build for whatever?
Thank you. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I am. Sometimes I press. Other time, if it becomes, if it's real easy, it's a lot less. I try to make $100 a day, basically. So it's best. It's worse. Okay.
Were you working on the piano in 9/11 heaven?
No.
I like that question.
I could see him working on the piano, and then him in the news, and then his head like popping up and hitting the bottom of the piano top. You know what I'm saying? Sorry.
I got it. Maybe a little. I don't know. Pretty steep. A lot of dirt, I guess. What's going on?
The person talking to be a really soft talker. I can hear that.
Is it talking piano?
So do you play any sports, love? We're going up?
I was never in sports as such. Well, in ways, I don't mind playing. I was never into TV sports as such. You know what I mean? Obviously, I have me kung fu and all that kind of thing. Like, so there's all that kind of side of things. I enjoy playing it at school. You know what I mean? Sports and stuff like. But after school, you know what I mean? I skateboard. Yeah, I used to have fun with that and stuff like. I was never really that good at it, kind of thing. Not with tricks and all that kind of stuff, but. Then I just, more interested in martial arts, so I kind of dropped it on and more direct into that kind of way. That and drawing, quite good at art and stuff like. Obviously, I told you all and all kind of thing like it took years off me. But during that time, I focused into I don't know, just medal element in that area. So it's kind of naughty, you know what I mean? But it's fitness, isn't it? You know what I mean? But it's also like mind fitness, because it teaches you how to tame your ego and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's got all sorts of. It's very tame. I'm not. He's an introvert rather than an extrovert. So, you just think about you.
Yeah, it was never something that really needed to be taught to me, anything else like that. I automatically knew when I got together with my friends that we were going to gather up and play something, and whatever was available to us at that time, well, that's what we're going to fucking play, period, the end. You don't have time as a kid to go through your options, you know what I mean? Like, if we were looking to play football, right, and we had to come across a baseball, like we say, football, we found baseball, let's play that, It didn't matter.
Yeah, you're exploring, yeah. No, so we might have a different name for it. I was trying to think, but
did you ever have any activities like that in elementary school? Did you have recess or whatever, where they just let you out and play for 15 minutes?
Yeah, we have an hour for dinner and about an hour or 20 minutes, something like that. Morning and afternoon as well, kind of thing. But this isn't you run around playing tigs and all that kind of stuff. Ball toss thing. it's only you tap somebody and then they're on, so I've got to tap somebody, somebody else runs away.
So that's like, okay.
Oh, it's like, yeah. Bulldog thing. And it's like somebody that we all had to like, this is back off, I've had amnesia and all that stuff. But somebody has to like stop the wall, turn around, and it's like musical statues every time turn around who's gonna stop. But you know, once somebody gets to the wall, like they're the winner or something like that, so it changes over. I can't remember anymore. I don't know.
Alright, here we go.
Obviously, we had the slide, we had the teeter totter, we had monkey bars.
Fucking danger and more danger. Fuck all of it.
We had. Did you have the gigantic truck tire?
That came a little later, but I remember in one playground was something. It wasn't gigantic; it was pretty big, enough that you could get stuck in it.
Oh, we had 3 of those motherfuckers just littered across our whole.
That's why. They paid for our playgrounds. They actually fucking spent a ton of money on engineered nonsense. But dude, it was dangerous back then. They had good stuff back then. You know, like, you could definitely get injured. And now it's like Mr. Safety, everything. It's like, here you go, jump over this. It's like 3 inches high. It's like, that's nice and safe.
Dude, our tire almost came off. The hinges, our black top was a ragged, sharp, you know, gravelly mess. You know, needed.
You sat there with the fucking 30 feet of chain. Remember that one?
Yeah,
That's the best, man. You could get buddy 2 of them on there to fucking launch. Fuck me, man. You were up there, boy. You were like death heights, you know. And then the thing would go slack with the horizontal there, and then slam back. You're like, whoa! I fucking gotta hang on your life. Like, it was a death ride. That's how you get fucking kills in life. Is, you know, to ride the edge a little.
Well, then you had good old tetherball. Tetherball to me was wow. Think about that game. As long as you were pulling up, as long as you threw it at the right angle, your money. It didn't matter.
No, we were sticking cans together in the sandbox and shooting fucking flaming tennis balls 300 yards with a air food and shit. That we were up to. Or blowing up army men and fucking burning army soldiers and crazy stuff like that. Fire, fucking danger, and all that.
Well, we did our GS to auto rockets and shit like that, but we didn't do that during school, though.
Dude, everything. You don't learn about gasoline safety and shit by lighting it on fire. You know what I mean? And, oh, that's fucking bad. Like, you learn real fast what not to do real quick.
Don't play with matches. What's the first thing you do? Play with them.
But gotta do it at a small scale, so you get fucked up a little bit, and then you go, oh, and then you go. But it's worse when you're an adult and you fucking dumb and never had any experience, and then you spill the gas can and it's on fire, and you spill it more, and you know what I mean? Like your reaction is totally wrong. It should have been this instead of that, you know? It's like French fry fire or anything else, right? The guy who goes up the bucket of water is the fucking bonehead and never had experience.
On tip chip.
Dude, merry-go-round was fucking deadly.
Oh,
yeah. The
You get 4 guys to really reach 60 miles an hour, and you pull out.
Oh, fucking.
I fell in merry-go-round, and then in my head.
Yeah.
It's like 14.
Yeah, you get fucking spanked.
Dude, the dirt around the merry-go-round, like if you dropped around that dirt, it was all like
shards and glass and shit. Yeah.
You ain't gonna land softly in that shit.
No, you aren't. I can tell you from experience.
And now, like, these playground and they're like rubberized. There's nothing like dangerous at all, you know.
The one near me, like I said, it's so boring now when I look at it. Like, what the hell was being ever seen? I mean, the McDonald's playground was more dangerous. You could definitely lose a finger in there. I mean, there was stuff in there.
I took my son to the park. I think he was 8 years old. But the last time I was there, I just remember the smell of rubber being like, this doesn't smell right. Like, playgrounds are not supposed to smell like tire rubber because that's what it was made out of.
Right, they just cut a tire, and then they put it on the.
Everybody's like, this looks nice. Like, don't fucking.
It's 100 degrees out. It's
recycled tire.
It's fucking slant. Fuck. What about those kids these days? They're fucking come in and those big rooms with all the walls in them. You dive into. I didn't do that. I didn't have that shit when I was young, but that was fun.
That was in the bulk for jumping bikes. So you
did the foam pit thing?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I practice all the tricks.
Not like flashy one now. Back then, it was like a couple old mattresses, a whole bunch of that.
Yeah.
You went fucking crazy, and then you went too far, fell on your melon.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he did pretty good. I mean, I don't know.
Dangers in this world. Now they got everybody all afraid of something they can't even see. Fuck. Crazy.
I broke my arm when I was in kindergarten, and I was climbing a tree, and I fell down. And I learned from that. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to climb any more trees for a while, you know?
I was hanging a tree once, man, just a branch. And I could tell, man, the tree was going to go, man. And I dropped and rolled, man. I just got out of that tree, man. Fuck, that would have messed me up.
We were good at dropping and rolling from heights because we were always running from the cops and shit. We have to go yards and over someone's fucking something and over a garden shed and who knows what else. And
Yeah, really drop and roll, man. Big time.
that been handy one. I remember we were getting chased, and the cops. I remember we saw the cop car at the street. I was like, "Oh shit!" They hit the gas. Like they saw us in the headlights. They were like, "Let's go!" Right? These
Yeah.
kids. And we were already booted it through the yard, and the car came to a screeching halt. And the guys were already the doors open, chasing us. You hear keys and badges and handcuffs jingling and everything, right? And I'm like, "Oh man!" So we went through the first study, across the next street, went into the next yard. And like there was a hedge. It was all dark, and we both jumped the hedge. And another side was like, you know how you have backyards that are high on one side, low on the other.
Yeah.
The street stepped, and fuck, it was like a 6-foot drive. So we like, what? Boom, 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 boom. And we're both okay. But then you the jingle, you hear these two guys jumping, and you hear, oof, and run, and yell some noise. And I'm like, fuck, get out of here, eh? You hear like flashlights, hangouts, and everything. I guess the guys are good. All you're doing like rain run and stupid stuff like that. You know what I mean? You're just looking for a little excitement and shit. You're not even doing anything really bad. The cops were just like manhunt for anybody that's out that late.
Yeah. Like, let's go fuck these kids.
As soon as the skateboard, they see the skateboard, they're after you right away. The BMX, like, we used to just cut into the golf course or something so they couldn't chase you, right? You cut into the golf course, cut across the golf course, that way they can get you.
Yeah, run from the cops. That's always.
Oh, fuck yeah. They spent so much time just for nothing, it was hilarious.
You guys know what battles are?
Yeah, got them all the time.
Okay, so in prep, they're everywhere, right?
Yeah, that's what they're for.
we would like put them on the road, like all so people have to drive through these others. That's what we would do. We'd just load road up with these crab apples and just hide behind a bush and just park and go through and shit.
Oh yeah, we used to have like an arm. Used to 6-full with an armful, and the guy would all pop up. Fucking guy would fucking jump out of the car, start chasing you. Everybody take off. Fucking somebody's getting caught. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that was the best. Snowballs, same thing. Then the other would get slick and smart. They would take off. They keep driving. So you think you're all cool now, and it's like no big deal. Wait for this car. Buddy was stupid. He went around the block. He went around the block, parked his car, walking around the corner. Fucking here we are. Fucking look like idiots.
We would play King of the Hill, but obviously there wasn't a hill that was big enough in our town, so we had to go to the next best place, which was the Rock Quarry. A good place to play King of the Hill.
Yeah, the 100 Rock. We had the same.
On ragged rocks.
We go there. There was always snakes in the quarry and the water pits and stuff. You'd always find other snakes and stuff. So you have to climb down there, and somebody in the quarry would pick up and call you out of there. And it was a big one around here. I think they built garbage now in fucking Inverberry. I don't know. We were just a good hole in the ground. Well, built garbage.
Okay. I'm making my own Q-tips there, Sword.
You shoot, got to shift and then spin the wall and.
Yeah, not too fun. I mean, the work. What the heck?
Got a little joke. You can't afford you to $8,000 straight. There's no budget for it.
The budget I don't have. I'm not walking over to either. Fuck that.
Listen, sometimes you have to make a decision to make sense.
All over there, just away. Oh my god.
That's horrible.
Use the force. Yeah. Finally check my jar machine. Oh, you didn't checking yet.
Not yet, huh?
Well, if we went in out, last night, man, in the live. Right before we went live. Cool. Force.
Probably Alexa.
I'm back on something as well.
I don't have any Alexa already.
Organize a bunch to do. gas going to take my motorcycle upstairs, so I gotta get that out of there.
Uh-oh.
Since
Did you make muffins?
go ahead, so I better do something.
Did you muffins?
No,
You not make muffins?
too late.
Ugh.
I'm gonna fast instead.
I was gonna say, you fasting?
It's good once in a while anyway to not shove shit in your sausage maker. You gotta fucking have a little break once in a while.
No doubt.
Purge the system a bit. Yeah, that hungry feeling you get, your stomach's shrinking up. That's a good sign. That's
Yeah.
That's just fact. Yeah.
Better than the letter. I'll say that. I'll hate me on the other spectrum, man. I'll say that.
Well, you keep cramming here and then. You know, people just drink beer. The volume of beer drinking. You know, stretch them out. They got these big beat ball. You know, they look normal than they're drinking beat ball. It's like, you pregnant? Every time I laugh all the time when I'm talking to you guys. And then I tell them, I'm like, would you drink 10 glasses of water in a row? They're like, no. I'm like, how the fuck do you drink 10%?
Because it gets good.
They're liars.
Yeah, there's such a thing as hyperfluorosis.
My politician. Is that right there?
Only drinking dirty jokes. Dirty joke here from G.
Which hand was itchy?
The right palm. Dead center.
Here you went.
Yeah. Still. I mean, you're gonna get some money. Or
I hope you.
He's out of the market beast.
you guys never heard that?
How about a micro?
Yeah, if it's your
I've
left
heard
hand,
about
you're
this.
gonna get money.
Somebody's talking about
If
it.
it's your right hand, you're gonna get money.
Right. You gotta give me. Right.
Let's grab my hand. I'll get itchy and I get smashed.
The palm itch. Yeah.
Let me grab it.
Yes, sir.
Ow.
Now my palm's itchy.
And it's on your elbow.
Try elbow. What does that mean? What's the left mean?
Lovely.
Loser. Uh-oh.
He's the one leaving as well now.
Someone's gonna steal some money. Means a bill into your mailbox.
Right.
So your right hand better be itchier than your elbow. That's an inside joke.
Itchy elbows. Itchy elbows.
Never once I ever said that.
Itchy elbow?
Not once.
Never.
Yeah, elbows are itchy.
My bugs me because I had a little bone chip in there or something that I chipped off probably when I was floating around in there somewhere. Sometimes you lean it on the counter when you're like, and then you do the Flintstone dance.
It's fun when you hear your elbow.
That's funny. That's how,
Never funny.
especially if you need to carry a tray or something. Then you're fucked.
The weird thing that happens to your fingers.
No, yeah, it's like totally like hard reboot of the computer. It's like really total fuck up. Takes a second for everything to come back online. It's like, whoa.
Right.
It is fun when you slip on your arm or something that's completely dead and it's like, you know what? Think about that. So if you're ever in an emergency situation where somebody's got to cut something out of somebody's hand or a butt removal, whatever the hell, you know, remember that. You know what I mean? Just slip on that thing for a minute and get that nice sleep and then you won't feel dead.
Well, that scared me when I looked up and break the motherfucker because that little shit.
It's dead like a dead fish hanging there. It's just flopping around, fucking you smacking up like a zombie.
Alright.
I did that a couple times here where I crossed my legs or I watched something tense or whatever. I did the same thing, and you know, you get one half of your leg is deeper and shit. Oh, for fuck's sake. I get up and walk to the stairs and it's like stopping oil circulating half the motor or something, right? And fight back again. It's like, no. Not happening. You can understand how to cut his own arm off. So when Boulder fucking incident and wherever got cut and all that sort of thing, cut his arm off.
What?
I'll go with it. Movie again.
Yeah, it was good. He's there for a few days before I had to make a decision. Like, that's gotta go. But anyway, he didn't feel the thing apparently until he hit the nerves really. But I mean, leave your partner. That's like in your backpack.
That's a pretty tough decision right there.
Yeah, you're like, damn, you know, my expensive gear is in a rock. I'm gonna have to abandon it. Okay, but not your arms. Like,
Not like we take out a book and you're like, okay, let's see situation in which your arm is trapped in a rock.
yeah, you got to wonder how you got in this position in the first place. Sounds almost possible, but anyway, carry a rock hammer. Fuck, I don't know. You could chip you out of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Carry stick dynamite.
Just, you know,
It's like what he killed you.
saw me knives. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Where's my socks? You know, I'm mad if it's in the afternoon and I don't have socks on.
No sauce.
Socks. I don't have shoes on yet. I haven't done anything yet. It was you're fucking getting bad news this morning. Like I said, this is just going to become one of these. Everything's just rolling this boy like fucking. Relax, going downhill.
Might be like volcano. I don't know.
Well, that'll come later a bit, I think, but now a move is still never going to stop and, you know, turn around. Or not. That's my point. This toboggan ride's only going to get quicker. It's, you know what I mean? It's too slow to start. But now we're in the start. We're about to hit the jump. And then we'll see who's hanging on or not.
Alive, dude?
Yeah, right.
Live.
It's okay.
So, we've got buffer drums. I can sort out from where you are on that.
I don't think so. Too bad.
What's the problem?
Buffing.
Coffee.
What's the buffing? There. Just read it a little bit.
Get mine to have it. No.
What?
No, we can, I'll make that for myself. You collect my things.
Okay.
Alright. It's a win.
Yeah.
But it is what you do. We'll win.
It's win.
Ah, shit. These can asshole wants $70 for internet bill. Fuck you. I don't want to pay. Get the book. $78.13. Where am I gonna get that? Fuck.
I'll send it to you, man. Alright.
Okay.
I'll send it. Send your money, man.
I keep asking if I can get a bunch of shit done. I could get listed stuff, and, you know, on my crap. In the winter, it's better, you know. Obviously, as the weather gets a little, people get computers and move.
Right.
But it's been warm here, nice here up till now. I haven't even had a below zero night yet or anything. So.
Oh man.
And that's hot because last year my buddy had a stupid app to tell you what last year's weather was or whatever. It was brutal compared to this one. So it's an El Nino followed by a fucking what's the El Nina for the cold part? Yeah,
El Nino.
O and then ah. You get the O and you get the ah. It's like a finger probe in your butt. At the right, and it's at the pole, you shut the power, and boy oh boy.
Oh boy.
Most people fucking, you know, it took 12 hours to like trusting cars flee neighborhood, basically looking for a place to go. Everybody else on the street is dark and nobody home. They bend the fucking wood stove and all that. I told people this is all bent. Don't fucking take out your wood stove, just don't use it. Leave it there. Don't fucking remove it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I might remove it and all. He's like, no. Leave it there fucking as a decor piece for now, because I'm telling you now, the day comes when you're gonna need it. And it's like, well, nobody's been handing out fines in the apocalypse for fucking wood stove fire.
No.
Fucking free for all.
Yep, they're burning their pianos.
Yeah, your sign would be a fucking piece of firewood. Would be like, hey, grab that, chop it up with an axe, you're gonna burn it.
Wow, it'd be no tough decision right there.
No, it wouldn't at all. That's what people think until it's the desperation time. That's like, fuck it. Oh, it's kind of like a lot of people are like talking about stuff. You know, let's say you store food, right? And like the only thing left is like Doritos and Henry bars. It's like, you could be damn sure or Henry's and Dr. Bars then. You'll still give a fuck. That's a long-term health decision you're making at that point. And when you're in a crisis situation, there's a long-term health.
It's like today you survive. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like saying you have to get a shot or you're gonna fucking lose your job. It's like you can't do your job. You're dead.
What is he doing eating Doritos and Oreos?
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just eat because I don't eat that shit. You know what I mean? Well, in the fucking end of the world, you'll eat it. I guarantee you'll eat it.
Oh yeah.
Yummy. Camping, if you had a choice, you hate oatmeal, for example, right? And then it's day 10 of camping, and the only thing left is oatmeal. But it fell on the dirt, so there's a little bit of dirt sprinkled in there. And you'd be like, fuck, get over, man.
The dog bit on a dog.
Yeah, it's okay, not that bad. Put some cinnamon on it.
Dude, in jail, you know, you had to eat what they gave you. And they gave you beans. So, if you want to eat, you gotta suck the beans. You gotta do something.
You should have asked for the kosher plan.
The kosher what?
You tell them you're kosher, fucking gotta have a kosher.
Oh, yeah, they had those kosher guys. They would sell their
right off the bat when you got there. You should have said shalom as soon as you got in there.
Yeah. No, they didn't really get better shit, you know.
But you don't have to eat hot dogs and bologna.
That's all you have, and they got you by the balls at that point in time. Pretty much sucked because my stomach would be growling like a motherfucker. When you're in jail, that's all you think about is eating because that's the thing that keeps time going.
Better go on a hunger strike and tell them you aren't eating their fucking crap fuck. I love it. It's like, what do you want for your last meal on death row? And everyone's like, oh, a Big Mac and a fucking French fries.
Yeah,
What are you doing right now, dude?
Big Mac.
You got a chef waiting there that says you can have anything you want, pretty much. You know, you go for the filling you own. It's the last time you're going to order up. I'm used to it.
At least ribeye or something.
Not me, dude. Get the thing with the extra cheese on it. Because you know what? Cholesterol matters today.
Extra salt.
Yeah, fuck salt that up. Hell yeah. Extra everything. Some cashew peanuts, chew nuts.
That'd kind of be a weird thing to get a prison, you know? You got it and gets inject somebody else's body with poison.
Yeah, he's probably working with the devils.
What does that kind of sound like? You know, like if you go like that, it's like just if it's deemed as justice for that person to be put down, who's going to do it? Well, so, I'm really into death penalty anyway, kind of thing. Like,
you can't be anybody pulling that future's button, fucked, and you better repent before you die.
Hey, another human being to just another human being, so.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. It's murder.
The room right there. I don't care. He just got killed. And yes, well, how did that happen? He didn't naturally get poison just pumped into his veins. Someone had to fucking plunge that plunger.
It's amazing that have to kill these people when it's so easy to kill people elsewhere for other reasons that aren't even killing them. And you're here telling me that shortage of drugs, whatever to do. It's like, fuck, people die every day by accident fucking killing themselves from poison and stuff. You tell me there's not an easier way? Not that I prove any of that. I'm saying they make these silly arguments. Like, you shouldn't kill them in this place. It's not up to you to make the decision. I don't care how crazy. We can lock them up and keep them in a cage, I guess. I mean, but.
Or at least in Utah, whenever they had death penalty going on there, they did it by firing squad. And the way they would do it is they'd have guys stand there blindfolded, and then they'd have a lineup of about 6 guys. They would all shoot the gun, and one have blanks except for one guy, so they knew him.
Right.
Now, it's better than you know, somebody lethally injecting somebody else, and then just being stuck with murder that day. Like, hey, how was your day, honey? Like, I just murdered somebody.
Yeah, every time you do it, it's like there's a chance that you anyway. Right. You know, it could have been you every time. It could have like done 10 people in a row or something like that. Yeah. And what happens to consequences in spiritual terms? People which didn't hit him, but the fire done at him, even though he had a black. You know what I mean? Is that like? I think you know, like executioners from years ago, it acts up mask and all that stuff. And yeah, that isn't well in it really. So same for like somebody's doing from modern times stuff like.
Yeah, you forgive it for everything. Though. For example, you did that for your whole career, and you suddenly fucking had to come to Jesus moment and something in your life, and you can recover from all that. But the point is, there's something to fucking premeditating or prostituting yourself for a paycheck to do something that evil is bad enough to hand out traffic tickets and fucking shit to people. Then you go talk about taking their life. That's the whole situation.
Exactly.
And so who's judging these? They ultimately made a judge decision. He's already number one on the list. The other guy's more an accomplice, if anything. You know.
Can you imagine being mad at you for that job in your job description, and like at the very bottom, it's like, no way, you must do this and perform this task. Like, well, wait a second. Oh, excuse me.
But that's how you improve from within, Jared. Like anything in this world, like, when you want the fucking evil guy at the top, you're feeling them out as they're working. You know what I mean? Their career along the way. You have a good cop working in the station or whatever. The bad cops aren't going to go for the guy fucking position on their right. They're going to know that guy's a good cop and don't fucking let him in on this. He'll tell us, you know?
Well, you wouldn't, a guy that works at a prison, right? That's not a job for for me to think that would be something you want to work yourself up to a position to. Hey, I want to get to a point where I'm killing people. You know, motivation.
The guy does want to do that. He probably makes his own lunch and so forth. And I'll take that. I'll take that job in a flash. You know what I mean? Like he makes well known that he's more willing to accept a position. So that's the kind of we're talking about. It's not they put out a fucking want ad for execution. They don't need to. They can hire from within. There's always some greaseball looking to move up the ladder.
Still though, God, it'd be fun to see somebody actually down there.
Yeah, you gotta murder people. Murders executes essentially. No,
when I was in jail, all they did was sit up on the floor, right? And they had the remote control for the TV, and that's all they did. They didn't do shit. They read the paper. Everybody just kind of walked circles. You had the guys that would sit in the chairs and watch TV, but that was it. Very rarely did he get up to do anything. I mean, there wasn't anything going on. Usually got no deal. But even if there was a big skirmish, the 16 cops would come to his aid in a matter of a minute. He was there in danger. So I was looking at this guy, miserable. These guys are absolutely miserable. And it hit me, I was like, these guys are glorified babysitters. That's all the fuck they are.
How good to do it. They're locking you up with fuck all day, okay? Like, that's some options to do. I mean, for example, if I gave you the option and said, you can, for 3 or 4 hours a day, you can come over here and sew things, okay, or whatever, learn how to sew things and stuff, and just to feel the boredom, you could do it. You know what I'm saying? Just to do something. I mean, and if they said, hey, you can make $1 an hour if you actually do it, great. I mean, that's again, they don't use resources that easily use, and people would be more willing to get to, especially like having an online library type situation, you know what I mean, where the information is available to them too, more than it is. It's just not there. I mean, you gotta keep them occupied with something useful and a skill level sometimes to, have some ambition for when you get out, not fucking sit there talk about crime with other fucking retards,
I've read books before I was a kid, but I never read any books all the way up to the time I went to jail. But once you go to jail and you see that fucking stack of books, holy shit. It's like, man, everybody running the bookshelf and shit, people are telling each other books is fucked up.
Yeah, it's the thing with food. Again, you turn your nose up at all kinds of food. You get food all day. But again, on day camping, you're starving your ass up. If I show you porridge with fucking dirt in it, you're going to be like, give me some of that.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dirty porridge. Yeah, give me some of that.
Just sprinkle little dirt sprinkles. There's a few dirt sprinkles. Just scrape that off of there. It's good. Just a hunch. Just a little hunch.
I still feel guilty because I could have easily have flat smacked those fucking guys in jail a lot better than what I keep saying. You know what I mean? Like you're like, man, I said this.
Well, you guys are reading the Bible and stuff. You should have waited for them.
No, nobody's busting anything. But I did have a guy that was in an actual cell. He was next to me, carrying around a 6 book, which I thought kind of odd.
That's another guy. Yeah, perfect.
He was my main enemy in there, man. Like once he heard about what I was telling him about, he came after me big time.
Yeah, that's a chance to challenge him. Say, look, dude, you're studying stuff. Means you understand your this should.
At that time, though, I was only about maybe 3 weeks in or 4 weeks in. Like I was a baby in the whole deal. So I didn't have any information. I was just excited to have the information.
Yeah.
And I figured, hey, I started making friends with my bunkmate, and myself, and just started talking, and I started telling about the crazy shit information I ran into, and so it just started like fucking wildfire. Next thing you know, the whole fucking jail mocking me, making fun of me, It was crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's only funny until you find out it's true.
That was a lesson learned for sure, because back then, first of all, Jared, don't ever run your mouth unless you know what you're talking about first. So that was my first thing. Like, yeah, don't do that again. Unless you're prepared for the worst.
Well, you know you're good. That's helpful. Uh-oh. That doesn't look right. Doesn't look right.
Well. Of course.
Did you say the earth coil?
Yeah. It's electromagnetic. It's pretty much. we live in a spiral graph.
Earth coil.
Sounds cool.
Well, again, with the firmament, possible toroidal shape as opposed to just straight up. Well, the magnetical forces would be toroidal. I mean, not necessarily firmament. It's a firmament in a container. I mean, the globe would make more sense. I mean, regardless. That's almost to put it in your face there. You know what I mean? Make a tourist object. Here, snow globe. It's small world after all, you know. Let's disregard all ancient texts completely.
That's an archaic way of thinking. Isn't that what it says on a little thing there underneath YouTube videos, Flat Earth?
And I lived in this nonsense like people have been discoveries since then, whatever, and like such that, and they're like, oh, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, whoa, fucking stop right there. There's your fantasy problem right there, buddy. Nothing ever changed other than they fucked you and told you a lie, and now you're believing a lie instead of what's always been known since the beginning, all recorded in history since the beginning, but everything's weird in language or some form or another, and it all fits together quite nice. Where you label it like this or label it like that, it still fucking says it's a fucking thing, flat, permanent around it. Fucking things move above your head.
Baby.
At least go on Christopher Columbusing around the fucking ball. Bugs Bunny, you can say.
Sorry.
Well, I saw them Bugs Bunny.
Thank you.
A lot of people tell it that, like, you know, I mean, the what is it? Things. I can't remember what's on it now. Something about Flat Earf, don't I?
Yeah.
It's like using magic or whatever, like. And it's like evidence, proof, solve argument is.
Yeah, but I shoot down quick. Yeah, I'm like, what's the issue going on like this, going around like this? And they're like, exactly. There's no difference. Going around is going around. Fuck, it doesn't matter if it's flat or fucking round. Starting at one place and ending up in another is based on this. So here's your goal. Fucking, how did you navigate that? I'm fucking retarded, dude. Sexting alone with a common used object. You know, that's fucking good. And
I got it.
The Ankara and astrolabe stuff, that's 10 times more proof. It doesn't work all. Of course it doesn't work all. It's not meant to.
That's awesome.
What the fuck wrong with your head, dude? Why do you think Case in fucking rock? Because it's some last fucking cataclysm of the last piece of shit empire being destroyed. And you're about to see one hit the shitter. Yeah, we're like a fucking tree limb on the edge of the fucking shredding machine, and the guy's just about to put us into the fucking shredder there. Oh no, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Just make plans next year.
Vacation.
Take on and renovations on the house. Fuck, you know what? You should all some African fucking hardwood floors, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, everything's got extra 20 grand around. It bugs me watching my neighbor keeps on sending it. And the same thing for the 1 2 doors down. Again, there's trucks there for the last 2 years. This guy's been renovating over. There's been plumbing, electrical, fucking contractor, and roofer, and siding guy, window guy, fucking every guy. And then that was the one I filmed with the fire truck and the ambulance came to the there. Well, there's your plans. Fuck out the way, old pal.
Right.
Yeah. And same thing with my aunt, you know what I mean? She did just fall asleep her fucking guy there. I mean, you can guarantee they kept her, so. Yeah. And nobody can talk that out of it. Oh no, she's old. I mean, she's old, all right. Until you fucking stick that in her. She's dead.
I was showing him like vaccine reactions, people like dropping and stuff, and he told me, "Oh, that's just a coincidence because people said that's happening, so now you're seeing it happen to people." Yeah, he had to shut the fuck. So.
This isn't like, oh, I got you get an itchy arm, you know? Okay, well, okay, an itchy arm, okay, no deal. I mean, this is like why other people you go to the front of the line and then fall over and pass up, and you're like, yeah, I'll be back.
It's like seeing a mini, you see what's now.
Yeah, he's not doing so good for right now. It's long as it's going to be for benefit for Christmas. Okay, I got
you what? Let's say about like 9/11 and like when you see that now, that's just what government does. In a couple of years, when you're saying to people that this vaccine is killing people, it's like, oh, that's what government does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
This is going to save. It might make you temporarily blind or possibly a little permanently blind, but you know what? You'll be alive though. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead. I mean, literally, fuck. Just a little percentage. Oh, yeah, only a few thousand. Okay, yeah. how much will I be able to see? Like, will I still be able to like read a book or something? Well, probably not. I mean, it's like, well, I don't like books anyway. Okay. Seeing overrated, you know. Yeah.
Exactly.
You might have to just, you know, in a wheelchair or something. But well, I'm kind of lazy. I wouldn't have a wheelchair anyway. Can the government buy me one of those morons? Oh, I'm in.
Would you be those people that goes to the shoe store and gets one of those hearts?
Yeah. Remember the curtain episode when he got in there and he's all privileged now and he's fucking handicapped? Same thing. Here, people.
Hey, Ken.
Yeah.
Can you send Lisa a YouTube link to?
Yeah, later for sure. Yeah.
I think co-chat.
What's that?
Link to Hangout and Steam Think co-chat.
Liz?
If you got
Wait a
that.
second. Are you suggesting she can't find us on YouTube?
No, she says she can't.
Tell her to type Earth instead of Earth.
Enough.
So just tell her to type in Flat Earth.
Earth.
With F instead of H.
Yeah,
Is that my language big type thing? It's says pub end of it.
Flat Earth.
How do you say it differently?
Read the video. Flat Earf Pub.
So EARF, right?
24/7 Flat Earth with an F.
It comes up either way. Type it. It's a total algorithm breaker. Like YouTube doesn't know what to do with that. So, you know,
That's
it is funny. No, it's a good test. I mean, hilarious. I mean, it's Earth is a whole word, but so much a hashtag that cost put it on that stupid site, whatever that is. Twatter. Okay, I'm gonna go outside. I'm almost motivated now.
Oh, that's you.
It's 3:30 now. I'm almost motivated.
Yeah, who's on that?
And I'll start, and it'll be like, that's dinner time. Fuck you. It's quitting time. I start at 12, I finish at 1, and I got an hour for lunch.
You know, sounds like a occupation of a drug dealer.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
Don't call me, I'll call you.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, boy.
Very strange. Yes, it is day off.
Did you Foreigner song? It's Pure Blood instead of Hot Blood by Foreigner. The fucking lyrics are funny, man. About halfway through, not laughing at the lyrics of that. Yeah, well done.
Yes.
I put it back.
I think I put it on.
Yeah, it was really well done. Wow.
Well, you blinded me, I can see. And it's just fit to the song, and you know, because it just they almost didn't have changed. Like none of this. That's what do you say? The notes or anything are all there, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it didn't change. Like C just became CDC, and you know, hot blooded, pure blooded. I mean, everything's so fit into the lyrics that it's like nearly the same song. If you were listening from a distance, you might think it's the Foreigner.
Oh, it's just so well done.
Say the media bear, I gotta give it to him. I'll tell you, having a good video made and making a video is one thing, but making sure that the audio production is really good quality is important to me. I appreciate it when I fucking listen to it and hear a chick in this room fucking really clear and nice. I mean, the way I want it to be. I like that. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like good source, clean fucking music really sounds good.
You ever heard from Manny?
French, like,
Oh, yeah. He hasn't been on that for a while.
Well, they're using the other chat room anyway. They did the switcheroo there.
Gotcha.
It's better.
Oh, God, shit. I'm like, damn. It was just so fun.
Play it. Yeah, we can't play it right now.
Yeah, play it later.
Alright, fuck it. Where's the car keys?
Uh-oh. There goes.
There's 31 days in this month, right? Good.
Yep.
Fuck everybody. That means that it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Halloween day.
That's right. Say how's Eve?
Is that going to slingshot the candy 6 feet from the door to the bag, or I don't know how they going to a little candy launcher.
what thing today at Dead? That kind of thing.
Day of the Dead. Mexican.
It's all the world, is Japan, Korea, everywhere. I think pretty much all cultures like it's like celebration of those that have passed on. It's like
It's former pagan fucking shit is what it is, and they keep fucking doing it when they were told not to, and they're cursed for it, and still cursed for it. If they thought they wouldn't have the problems they have. But everybody
now
oh,
the
yeah,
Wall Street thing.
same
Just
thing.
not like it's not really celebrating.
It's a celebration, but that's how you do it. It doesn't matter how you do it. I mean, trick or treat, seriously. I mean,
What's wrong with celebrating those that passed on? Like as a, as a
they're buried the dead, dude. That's the way we putting too much value on the flesh again and worshiping the dead. Saint this, saint that. We're all that's all.
it's the spirit of people. The spirit of those that we've spent some money on. Kind of thing.
Nobody ever met the spirit of anybody unless it was a demon.
Like my spirit's nice and this spirit's dues and yours is yours. You know what I mean? It's gonna like
Go to sleep when you leave here, though, and I don't want to hear from you when you're gone.
I don't really know what you're about.
Right. This is what you get divines, whatever, necromancers, and you call them what you want. Fucking people that dabble in that shit. And there are proofs that they're literally reading. You're just demons talking to demons. Your demons talking to demons, fucking releasing everything in your little brain. You're thinking, oh yeah, Jim had a fucking little white cooler red collar, and next thing you know, they're telling you about Jim's fucking cooler red color because that's what you're thinking. You know?
I just know like sort of like it's gonna like get together. We all celebrate in memory of all the people like.
People want these dead people when they're dead. It's like they're dead for a reason. Why do you need to contact them or even try?
Well, it's not about content. It's just in memory. You know what I mean? It's like everybody wants to be remembered, don't they? You know what I mean? It's like why people seek fame and all that kind of stuff, like to be remembered on a massive scale or whatever. But I mean, it's enough to be friends, really. You know what I mean? It's like, like in celebrations, it's not like doing. I don't think like all the people like leave bars on these celebrations. It was more like we have a drink and so and laugh.
You can have a week or a burger or whatever. I got no problem with that. But I mean,
like that. That's what I'm seeing it like anyway. But it's like a yearly occasion rather than one kind of thing.
Yeah, but Halloween is like literally celebrating death. It's not a particular person, and you're having a party.
Modern Halloween, because it's like the modern Halloween's kind of different to what the old Day of the Dead kind of thing.
Well, you dress up with candy costumes, you look just like anything else. Any competitor in this world are going to offer you something that looks good to get you in.
Well, no, I'm like, don't that like remove what used to be? And it's like that's the thing that's wrong with it. Kind of thing. It's like modern Halloween is kind of wrong, whereas old Halloween is kind of like what it. Like I'm not seeing it like too deep. It's like let's say not beach bars or like that. It's like a celebration,
No, but if you ask any child or anybody at all now that grew up in this bullshit what Halloween means, and it's real simple: put on a costume, we'll get free candy. That's pretty it. There's not much more to it than that. And of course, it's far deeper than that, and darker than that. You just gloss over it with a little bit of icing, and no problem. Everybody goes along with it.
Teachers them, being greedy and stuff like a thing. Get something else. You know what I mean? Like, and it's the birthday, then it's Christmas. Get something else, and and all this stuff and that kind of thing. Like, all these celebrations seem to do that. So it's like conditioning the children into thinking, what I want next. I want.
If you watch Charlie Brown Halloween like I did all the time, you'd think that there's a great pumpkin flew over.
Go to the counter and say, "Where's the manager? I want to close my account. Take all of me out of my account right now," and see what they say.
Did that change back to communist again?
I don't know. You're gonna have the same news recently. I mean, soon.
Well, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we should have that done. Turn everything AI in that lot. Good.
People
I don't
say,
use it self,
why don't you break these IMs or burn them? Just why do we let them do that anything they want?
See, we need to like self-service checkouts. If everybody just avoid them, so the staff have to suffer. Because I'm not humane, like the company's not going to lower prices or products because we don't pay staff to work for shopping, or you know what I mean? It's like forcing the use staff. You know what I mean? It's one thing, but
I was thinking that it's kind of a testing thing. They test us, how far they can go, and how bad we're set to be. I mean, they trying to, they make small steps, but they, push and push.
I mean, you get used to that, and then the push again. Then we can get away with once you get used to that kind of threshold. Tolerance level either. But if you never pay for anything on card, you never use the service, what else is, you know what I mean? It's like, well, obviously, you never use a mask, all these things. I don't know what else is.
Interestingly, they do allow people inside the supermarkets for shopping without vaccination. They do let them go, but when people come back to the casa, pay for, they say, "Where's your QR code?" This is kind of a joke, or was it torture? I don't know what they do.
Do they give the shot at the store? Sugar?
I don't think so. No, it's muted.
See, now here, every supermarket has a spot you can get your COVID test, so very available here.
Self-PCR tests from chemists and buy them so you can do it yourself. Give yourself your own graphene oxide.
Yeah, if I'm going to do this shit, I'm going to do it my way.
Agave went to work, I take it? Yeah.
It's muted.
Jared's parking it, hanging out. I'm working. Trying to.
What do you mean I was working? He was a homie.
He went outside to do something. Right?
Yeah, it's muted up, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he
It's
just,
back now, but
He had to go fix his motorcycle and
he's going to put a rough, long 30 minutes and then come back in.
right. He was going to.
Absolutely agonized 30 minutes.
He don't have to work long, All right. This is this project coming along. I'm gonna make my $200 and go home. Dude, last night's crazy funny, man. Did that Flat Life Day? Did you get it?
Flat
Flat Life. We had a letter going around his neck, the map.
All right.
And it's like, yo, yo, yo. He's like a rapper, like play with the clock and whatever, you know.
It seems slow, you know what I mean? It's been a while now, like some of them videos kind of thing.
That's good. That's good. Hey, just hold the door open. Oh, sorry. No, I laughed hard probably all year long, man. I was crying. It was a hard time keeping it together. I was all epic. Anyway, that's just fun to do some of that stuff. Most of that stuff I'd never seen, you know.
Dude, Super Friends finding that shit?
That was cool. Yeah, I like this intro. That was cool. Super Friends.
Yeah, I was basically going to the PPC network, hit video, and then take my finger and just going whoop, whoop, scrolling all the way down.
Yeah.
All the way down, and I'd like, stop. And I'd hit the whatever it was, and then I'd hit play, and there you go.
Yeah.
That's how I found the shit I found.
That was good. Yeah, just I found something this morning, man. I'm gonna try to clip it. You know, Jim talking about people wearing masks back in 2018.
Yeah, he was talking about, and one that I listened to too this morning, he was talking about vaccinations.
Yeah.
And you get vaccinated and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little creepy.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy, man. Creepy.
People in France, they do pick up all the groceries, food in the supermarket, put it in the trolley, and just leave it at cast full of the food, you know.
Yeah.
And just go away.
So can you get vaccinated there in your store?
Yeah, the strange thing that if you're vaccinated, you go and buy anything you want, but if you're not, you go in,
you just fill up your fucking cart and you leave.
Yeah, as they say, you are a danger for vaccinated people, right? Or
Yeah.
on the contrary, vaccinated people are a danger for not vaccinated. So
Right.
they let them in, and just don't leave them, let them by. It's interesting.
Until they get the shot, and you say can get there.
No, yes,
No.
there are different, kind of
Stores and shit.
points where you,
Yeah.
outside on the streets, you can be vaccinated. You know, you don't even know what they inject you. They don't even know what health condition you are.
Right.
They don't pay attention to that anymore. They inject everybody.
Well, hey, it's only a human body. It's not like a big deal. It's a human body.
Exactly. Wow.
One person says that they are humans and they are programmed modules with human bodies.
There you go. That's it. I agree with that. Everybody's wearing fucking masks. You have to wear a mask at work, Jared?
Yes, I do.
Oh, fuck.
I
don't
ever wear mask only if they want to buy something. They tell me at us. They tell me, hey,